put on makeup. It's time to dress up right. It's time to get things started.
Hey, man, is that Double D? Yeah, man. Well, turn it up, man.
Let's just go in and, like, kill all the orcs, right? They're the bad guys. Who gives a shit? We just hack and slash and we loot their dead bodies, right? Hack and slash, kill them all, you know, conquer the infidels.
Boy, that campaign sounds like a barrel of fun, doesn't it?
Somebody who's opening a refrigerator and leaning in, right, is the language of a woman. Somebody who's opening their refrigerator and being cut off halfway through that lean is the voice of like a mermaid or a siren.
They're utter shits. They're utter shits.
This is not the face of the hobby anymore. And I think there's been mistakes made in years past where people assumed that D&D players were all, you know, white dudes in a basement. Which has been a faulty assumption for a lot of years and gets more and more false every day. And so it's, in my viewpoint, honestly, guys like me can't leave soon enough.
I just had to be born with empathy and a weakness for socialism and femboys.
You gotta put a little hot sauce on the taco, you know what I mean?
We want this dwarf to be the dwarfiest dwarf.
Right.
We want the elf to be the elfiest elf.
And just the dashiest dash of Tabasco.
The voices need to carry across water.
I'm a creative. It's a huge drain, right? Because fans can be off.
When we got the descriptions, they were very adamant. They were like, try not to make it like a white blonde guy. Like, please. Like, we love him, but there's like 500 million of them.
You say white lives matter, they don't. White lives don't matter because white lives aren't a thing.
Lube for their rectal adventures.
Lutherville, Marina Del X, Otisburg. Who's this monster? She's got her own place. Otisburg. It's a little bitty place. Otisburg. Okay, I just wiped it off. That's all. It's a little town.
Okay. We'll do it live. Okay. No. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
Yeah. 5, 4, 3. Great, Sam.
I've got a really big gorge here that I've got to traverse. Your mom has a big gorge.
Did you cry? So much. I went into the house and my wife was like, "What's wrong?" And I just crawled onto her and sobbed.
Oh my God.
Well, ain't the old opening better?
Get away from me, you creepy, crazy fucking Canadian.
On with the show.
Ho ho, hee hee. Let's see here. I want to make sure I'm. Oops. Don't want that. How you guys doing? Hope you're doing well. There we go. Hey, dog brothers, sword sisters. Raise a glass to our Irish kin. Finally, defending themselves. Looking forward to the show. Now, entertain me.
Are you not entertained?
Thank you, DB.
Are you not entertained?
We will indeed be talking about attempted beheadings.
Check this out. That's my password, unlike a lot of my stuff.
You shouldn't say that. You got to change it now.
If somebody wants to hack into my Jersey Mike's account, go right ahead. But I'm just saying, Colorado 1, because I used to live in Colorado.
Wow. Yellow King. Good choice in passwords.
Yeah.
Glad to see all you guys. Hope you're doing well. See, the usual peeps are here. Of course, we got ourselves Crazy Mouse, as you've heard.
Ooh. I'm almost up to a free large sub too on Jersey Mike's. I'll probably be gone tomorrow, you little fuckers.
And of course,
the
quiet man.
The sound of the universe whispering to you is Om.
Ravi Shankar. All right, who you got, boys? Tiamat or Bahamut?
I took A.
More hits. I understand that.
I just feel like I said that off air at our production meeting. I just feel like B would be like, it's lawful good. Let's talk about our pronouns. And then A would be like, just cut my hair and let's get it on.
Just cut my hair.
Oh man, Crazy No, she changed my mind.
All right, 1 second here. Make sure.
It's just my preference.
Yeah, it's just my preference.
Just cut my hair.
Just cut my hair, man. Let's get it
cut
on.
my hair. There we go. All right. Want to make sure. There we go. Good to see all of you. We are getting ready, Double D and Mrs. D, for CNYCon. Yeah, Rogan lives.
I live.
He's been living a lot lately. He's been here.
Yeah.
He's been here.
I'm the one that's been
That's right.
dipping out.
Yeah. Maybe tonight.
Might be tonight too.
Maybe tonight. We'll see.
It's not anything except for basketball. It's the only reason.
Yep, no problem. He's earned that PTO from Double D Incorporated. Yeah, so looking forward to CNY on Friday. Going to be gaming with some divers then, and on Saturday too. Hooking up with our buddy Greg Gillespie all weekend. Should be a good time. I'm really kind of excited for it. Then we got Origins the next week. I'm excited for that only because I get to see my buddy Hastermind.
No brother.
So
hide the hooch.
Get ready for a
drunk
ready for a drunk
live stream.
Yeah, a drunk stream. But in fact, I will probably be doing some streams also from CNYCon. So look for those as well. Shawnee, I'll be seeing Shawnee this weekend. Tiamat looks cooler, but you got to root for the good guys. Yeah.
Tiamat wins by cheating. One of our most favorite famous NPCs was a dirty fighter named Unaret. And he was just some one-off that we needed for something. And man, he fell in love with him.
He had the feat dirty fighting. Is there?
What's up?
What is going on in the window out there? Is there like somebody there, or is that just?
I'll go check real quick.
It's all right.
Somebody's walking by in the shadows of the sun. Shadows.
Yeah, that could be. Thank you, Crazy Masters.
Sounds like a jazz.
We have a glass block basement, and I don't know if it's just shadows or something going by the windows. Sorry, guys. I don't want to turn this into like a Y-Files episode or anything like that. I will man Crazy Mouse's station here. Craigie, guess who else I'm going to be seeing a lot of this weekend? Getting myself some Craig Bragg. It's going to be lit. Yep. Do the kids still say lit? Well, in my neck of the woods, they do, Craig. Panther, look at this. Crazy Mouse.
Right.
We'll keep this up as he comes back. I hear him now. It must not have been anything. It must not have been anything because he's already back. I assume it was nothing. Full report. Go ahead.
My best guess is it's your neighbor's flag.
Oh yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, because the sun's coming in from that direction. Yeah. Sorry, guys. You get to see how the sausage is made a little bit here. Panther, look who's here. Crazy Mouse, your buddy Panther. Good day. Hold on, put that back up. I didn't get a chance to read that. I want to wait for you. Good day, crew. On sick leave today, so finally catching another live stream. Also, only 16 million likes.
I know that's crazy,
guys.
Shit.
We gotta get those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome,
Hey,
Panther.
you know what? Can we do something to make it like every time someone joins a chat, it automatically clicks like?
That's a good
that would be
idea.
nice. It would be nice.
I don't know.
Us YouTubers would love
I'm gonna
that.
start asking questions.
The auto like button.
Bad News Bards for 5. Had a blast at North Texas. Yep. I've heard it was good. One of my buddies was there. John was there. So he sounded like he was having a good time. You have stories. Ooh, you're driving up to CNY in a few minutes. Yep. Hope to meet y'all up there. Death Angels Shadow. That's right. Jeff is going to be there. Death Angels. Looking forward to seeing Jeff too. Yeah. Love to hear those stories. Thank you so much, Jeff, Death Angels. We will hook up this weekend. Badger for 10. Thank you so much.
Oh, I got something for him for $10.
Mama's wrong again.
No corner, Sandys. You're wrong.
Sounds like Mouse needs to play in a session with Badger running an intolerant paladin. Do not extend to others that which they would not extend to you. Warrior roles reversed. Words to live by. Thank you, Badger.
Thank ya.
All right. I want to show you something. This is kind of a hangover. So I think I have Flapjack Long John to thank for this again. This is about the comments about the new sensitivity readers. Remember we went over that? Remember they got the fibromyalgia chick, Jen Kretschmer. Yep. They got the dungeon dorks.
She looks like the Joker.
Yes, that chick. Well, these are going to be the new tastemakers for D&D, a bunch of liberal douchebags. So D&D Beyond, you can write comments. So take a look at this. Look at our buddy Max Power here. Take the politics out of D&D. Being quote-unquote inclusive does nothing but make you divisive. Can't we just focus on the game? And then we see Zviat's post there. But look at what they are doing at D&D Beyond. You see Zviat on the left there, same post, rough week, etc., but they have gotten rid of Max Power's post.
Censorship.
They have censored it. In fact, some people, and I owe this to Urius on X, are getting this message. We've noticed that your message falls within the realm of non-constructive posting. And we wanted to send a quick reminder for reference. You will follow the rules or else. Treat everyone with courtesy and respect. Stay on topic. So I guess in that broad umbrella, you can they can censor your comments about not wanting a bunch of liberal D-bags and lunatics being the new, like I said, the new directors of D&D, essentially.
That's in essence,
RPG Grandma?
remember in Lord of the Rings when Jon Snow became Lord Commander and they had a vote and Sir Janos refused his orders to go to some other castle? Ollie, bring me my sword. That's exactly what that is.
Yeah.
Ollie, bring me my sword.
I also love the David Stern quote. David Stern, the former NBA commissioner, when they I forget what it was about, but they asked him like, well, did you take a vote? And he's like,
it was about from the Malice in the Palace about suspending Ron Artest for a year.
Yeah.
We did have a vote. It was unanimous.
1-0. Always one of my favorites. Yep. That is leadership. So there we go. Yeah, there's your poll. Good images there. Yeah, from the very first monster manual.
Game of Thrones. Did I not say Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
You said Lord of the Rings. But I wasn't going to. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it was Game of Thrones with Jon Snow. Yep. Thank you.
We all knew what you were saying.
I get them all mixed up.
All right. It's all the same.
Han Solo flying the Starship Enterprise. I don't know.
All right. We'll see how long this stream goes tonight. I may want to, I got a lot of stuff to pack, so we're going to try to cram a lot of stuff in. Give you my thoughts on this. Paizo restructuring, a difficult update about our future. Mousisms. Over the last year, Paizo's been navigating one of the most challenging periods in the company's history. I want to speak to you directly about what happened, how it's affected us, and the steps we're taking to protect the future of Pathfinder and Starfinder. It's a hard update. It's very, very hard. But you deserve clarity, and we remain committed to being open with our community. Uh-oh, what do you guys think? Going to be some bad news.
I think they could have saved a lot of money by not hiring all the idiots.
Well, there's that. Well, in fact, we might even get a taste of that here at the end. How they got here. So in January last year, I'm not sure if you guys remember this or knew this, but their longtime book trade distributor, Diamond Comics. So not only does Diamond do comics, they also do RPGs. They declared bankruptcy. So Diamond handled the Paizo products for major retailers like Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Ingram. That's why every time you went into like a Barnes and Noble, I was always wondering, like, why is it D&D and always Paizo? Like, those are the only two options. Well, because I think they both, I don't know if they both use Diamond. Maybe Hasbro is just a direct, but that's why you got to see Paizo, Pathfinder, Starfinder everywhere. What's up, Hunger? Good to see you, buddy. So their distributor who put them into those places went bankrupt. And as all you guys who have been following the bricks and minifigs story realize, whenever you have stuff on consignment, it seems like stuff is liable to happen. So, of course, their inventory with Diamond is on consignment. Nobody's paid for that really yet. Diamond is supposed to sell it, and then they get a cut, and Paizo gets the rest. Well, Paizo has given all this inventory to Diamond, and they have not really received anything for it yet. Ouch. But it is being essentially held hostage. So that means we paid to ship products to their warehouse, and we're only paid when those products sold. Yeah, that's what consignment is for those of you that don't know. So when Diamond declared bankruptcy, it became pretty sticky. JP Morgan claimed a lien on all the products stored at Diamond, including nearly $10 million in Paizo inventory. Cannot access that inventory. So I guess there's litigation. Paizo and dozens of other publishers have been to court over it. Another one is Green Ronin Publishing, too. They are caught up in this as well. Two companies. If I had the world's smallest violin, I would be playing it right now for them. Do not like either of these companies. Still, we'll suss it out in just a moment. You get my opinion. You see this Paizo? This is the world's smallest violin playing just for you. Yeah. That is, I will confess, Patrick, I did not see that. So
Now pay close attention, because the information you're about to hear could mean the difference between life and death.
I will swear on my life that we came to that independently.
What
so, great minds and all that. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, Patrick, do you go to any of the cons coming up that Double D's going to be at?
I don't think he'll be at either.
Where is he?
He goes to Gen Con.
Gen Con?
They go to him and his wife go to Gen Con, yeah. Brian, for 5, New Zealand. TPK party in Hyperborea. Is that Hyperborea? With one Migo. Lads and lasses rolling new characters. One is a warrior poet. Ooh, I'll tell you how it goes once we play a few sessions. Love it.
Give that one some plot armor so that they can just keep. We can see
give them the double D plot armor. Yeah, we want to tell them they're guinea pig. Don't tell them they're guinea pigs. Just everything's just going to go their way. Thank you, Brian. Much appreciated. We will be playing Friday some Hyperborea. Yeah, wish I could, Mouse. I'm trying to expand that to at least one extra con a year. Boy, I wish you guys could get to CNY.
Just wait till Double D has his own con.
Double D con, yep.
It'll be fabulous.
Yeah. All right, so continuing here, Diamond's exclusive contract prevented us from immediately moving to a new distributor. So how do you like that? They declare bankruptcy and say, oh, you can't move on either. I'm wondering if that's even legal, but even after they stopped selling our books, Judge terminated that contract earlier this year, but Diamond has appealed. So I guess that's it. So Diamond doesn't, they kind of look a little shady here, but again, I don't really have a lot of sympathy, as I know a lot of you don't for, Paizo and Green Ronin. So Paizo lost nearly $2 million last year.
Ouch.
Yeah. And they had to write off nearly $500,000 in additional sales covered by the bankruptcy, and book trade sales remain far below historical levels. So these are kind of lines that will drive accountants like me nuts, because I don't know what they're saying here. All these game companies are kind of run by retards, and I don't think their accountants that they hire write this kind of stuff. So you'll hear people say this all the time. I'll just write it off. I'll write it off as an expense. Let me write.
It's like Kramer and Jerry in the apartment.
Yeah.
Do you know what a write-off is? No, I don't. Yeah. But they do. And they're the ones writing it off.
Exactly. Exactly. So it drives me nuts. So I don't know what that means. that they had to write off nearly $500,000 in additional sales. Does that mean maybe they're part of their inventory with Diamond is now quote unquote spoiled, for lack of a better term? Like it was supposed to be new to market. And the time has passed. I don't know what it means. So either way, it's probably not good. I'm sure there's some negative impact for $500,000 there. I just don't know what $500,000 in additional sales covered by the bankruptcy. That's gobbledygook. That means nothing to a financial person. But we will continue. And their sales are not going good. They do have sales through Paizo.com, and hobby retailers have grown over the same period. They've not been sufficient to offset. So their own store is up a little bit, but not nearly enough. Hey, Crawford, I'm sorry, Role Player Roll. I thought that was Crawford. Looking forward to some Dice and Drinks Friday. Yes, indeed.
I know what made you think that. The extended arm out there looks like that claw.
It does look like a claw. Yeah. I initially thought that. Yep. Jeffrem for $10.
I know nothing. Nothing.
So if this run of unfortunate consequences for Paizo continues, do you think there any company is in a good place to take Paizo's place in the RPG market? No. And I'll get to that in a moment. So you can probably kind of see where I'm going here. But thank you very much, Jeffrem. Like I said, I'll address that in a moment. Speaking of Paizo fanboys,
and then the dragon just yawned.
Just yawned.
Oh, wait, he's got another one coming, but we'll do it at the end.
Yeah, maybe don't overextend Paizo, for fuck's sake. I love the system, but the quality of storylines really took a nosedive, hell yeah, from the original. Hard to be upset by this. Truly and utterly the bitterest of dregs.
Bitter dregs.
Thank you, boys. Jeffrem, Ryan, all you guys, thank you so much. Much appreciated.
I'm curious as to what other businesses, smaller businesses, for example, that are affected by this from Diamond doing this. Obviously.
Well, I mean, you know comics.
Oh, I remember when that.
I mean, I know DC. Yeah, DC and Marvel. Do they use Diamond?
They used to. I know that. I forget what the other one was, and then that other one went and. Diamond,
like I don't know if like Image or Dark Horse or anybody uses them. They'd be pretty affected by it too.
But yeah, I back in the day there was two distributors, and then Diamond won. I don't know what happened to the other one, and that there was a kind of a mess up in regards to getting certain titles for quite a while. Now it was what 25.
It's a cluster. Yeah, it's a clusterfuck.
It is.
Well, they say they're back in the book trade today with a new partner, but the book market has not yet recovered. We must make difficult decisions. Layoffs. Ha, ha, ha.
What was that fancy term they used for layoffs during COVID? Furlough?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Make it sound good, but even layoff, I mean, they're fired. But remember, Paizo has a union. These dummies have a union. As part of our efforts to address our core business and adapt to the current business environment, Paizo will be conducting layoffs impacting 12 employees, a dirty dozen, if you will. Acknowledging that layoffs are sometimes necessary, Paizo management and the United Paizo Workers Union, oh my God, stupid. United Paizo Workers Union. Yeah. They established a clear, fair process for implementing layoffs following those terms. Probably these terms. Paizo has given the union 20 days of notice for positions scheduled for reductions. Employees may volunteer for layoffs. I'm sure they'll do that. Otherwise, the least senior employee in each impacted business unit is affected. So you could have the most creative person, man or woman, who's just entered, and they're like, oh my God, this is great. But because of this stupid fucking union, you've got to keep some dumb troon who's just sucking up a position and a paycheck. That is hilarious. Impacted employees will receive a week of severance per year of service, minimum of 2 weeks. I suppose that's generous given, especially back in the old days, they just would have been shit canned. Those affected will have 18-month recall rights. Yeah. These decisions affect people we care about deeply. We're doing everything we can to support them through this transition. This is kind of funny. Organized play. So I have actually played in Paizo organized play. Did you ever play with us? Like, did you play with us in that Starfinder game, Rogan?
No.
Okay, I think it was back when my son and some of his friends used to go to Gen Con with us. So we're talking like 2017, 2018 maybe. We played a Starfinder event when it was like when they were first rolling it out, and I was totally oblivious to, culture war stuff, and I was just like, oh cool, it's a sci-fi game from, the Paizo people, the guys who do Pathfinder. It was okay, but if like at Gen Con, they have a huge open floor for Paizo. Like it is a gigantic organized play area. So they do put some effort in. Pathfinder Society and Starfinder Society have always been labors of love, programs we've supported as marketing investments to grow in-person play at game stores and conventions. So they don't make any money on it. But the needs of the retailers, conventions, and home groups have evolved over time. And the cost of producing scenarios has grown significantly. Maybe you get some of those lazy union workers that you used to employ to write scenarios, but it's time to evolve organized play. Yes, they're going to evolve. Using a tool perfect for transitioning the campaigns to its dedicated players, the Pathfinder and Starfinder Infinite Publishing programs. So I wonder if that just means they're going to start to steal from like normal people. Infinite Publishing, I think that might be what that is. Go ahead, get Ryan's. I'll put that up there. Thank you, buddy.
Loves in the breathless excitement of
Sing it,
night,
Spock.
Then leaves with your treasure in cold morning
Cold morning light.
Spock is so going to get some right after that.
Yeah. Christine. Hope you girded your loins, Christine. Hit me with the B-side mouse. Greetings from sunny California. You're in Cali? Jeez. In the desert, and it sucks here. Dang, Paizo Books also took a dive in quality. Yeah, everything I think over there took a dive in quality. It's because they employ retards and lunatics. Don't tell me every detail about Xer appearance. Fuck. Thank you, Ryan.
My daughter's in a desert out there.
Yeah, maybe the same one. Maybe the same. Cal for 2. Beheadings will continue until morale improves. We'll get there, Cal. We'll get there.
With the union, as a union steward, I've seen this happen an awful lot, and it freaking blows when you got a guy coming in who gets a year or so service, and the guy is like smart, he knows what he's doing, and I'm dealing with a guy with 30 years service that don't give a fuck. I'm the guy that I'm the guy the bosses come to me, and I'm thankful for it. Like, hey, can you talk to the guy? I'm like, yeah, I'll talk to him. I talk. He'd like, dude, they're watching you. I don't give a fuck. Okay. And then boom, layoff comes around, and the good dude, young person.
Yeah, the good guy goes, and the slug stays.
Exhausting.
That's the bad side of the union. He does soothe your soul. Mine too, Ryan. Thank you for requesting that. I do appreciate it.
I loved when he was on the Millennium Falcon.
All right, behave. I know you're just playing there.
That one I was joking with. Yeah. The other one was just a misspeak.
That was Captain Doctor Who, right?
Yeah, that's right. So we have Pathfinder Infinite and Starfinder Infinite. We will be releasing new logos and adding dedicated Infinite sections to the Pathfinder store, bringing independently created Pathfinder and Starfinder products directly into the spotlight on Paizo.com. Yep. So they're going to start to milk their cows, so to speak. Rogan, do you want to say something, Rogan?
Testies.
He's fine. He's clipping it yellow.
I did tweak myself up a hair.
There you go. That's fine. Yep. So authors and members of the community interested in producing sanctioned independent adventure scenarios for use with the current Pathfinder Society and Starfinder Society programs will be able to do so under clear guidelines that will be released before Gen Con. Paizo is going to continue publishing Pathfinder and Starfinder Society scenarios at the current rate as normal through October. And then after that, they're going to shift to 2 scenarios a month, one for Pathfinder, one for Starfinder. In addition to regular availability on Paizo.com, these monthly scenarios will be enhanced by our new Pathfinder Printables line of home-printed miniatures. Oh, all right, that's interesting.
Sounds like, what was that guy that took you?
Oh, Minuteman Mike. Minuteman Mike. Uh-oh.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, it's a new program headed up by Minuteman Mike. Hey, Rogan starts to plan a trip to Seattle.
My eyes twitching.
And will also appear as bonus content for subscribers to the Pathfinder printables. All right. I mean, 3D STL files are probably not that expensive, but I suppose that's something. 2 major organized play themed hardcovers coming early next year. Chronicles of Pathfinder Society Adventure Anthology. 6 classic Pathfinder Society scenarios in updated and expanded 2nd edition rules. There you go. They're just updating old stuff. Never a good thing when that's what their game is to just kind of update good old stuff to the new rules. Can you do a plug in the chat? Sure. Absolutely, Chris. Yeah, absolutely. As long as you don't have a link like, hey, check out my video right now.
Yeah.
Stop watching D and Double D and go over here. Yeah, but if it's for a product, yeah, I know you, Chris. Yeah, so you can do that. Absolutely. Let's see. Starfinder Invasions.
Hold on, Double D. We got a work question for you.
Yeah, Chapter 11, they restructure. Chapter 7, I believe, is complete liquidation. Yeah, it's Chapter 7. I think they're going after reorganization. I don't know, but almost everybody tries to at least reorganize a little bit. And basically what they're going to be able to settle for pennies on the dollar, like with Paizo, and that'll get them back up on their feet. I don't know who's going to trust them anymore. People will try to get out of their contracts with them. And to be fair, as much as I hate Paizo and Green Ronin, rightly so. I mean, I would not want to do business with Diamond anymore. I mean, why would you?
Smash the like button.
Please. Hey, Joey. We know organized play has seen a lot of changes recently, and some of these have been frustrating or disruptive to our venture officers. That must be what their poor put upon DMs are, and player community. It's our earnest desire to stabilize both programs and expand them from a position of strength. But right now, things are not working, and we need to fix them. That's pretty straightforward there. I'll give them credit for that. Just basically just to say, like, look, we can't afford this anymore. Things ain't working. We got to fix this shit. Paizo remains committed to organized play in the long run. Fair enough. And we'll continue to invest substantially in these programs as we move forward. And then I think this is, I thought this was kind of funny. Beginning July 1st, they're going to end the automatic granting of free PDFs of non-society Paizo products to volunteers. So I think what they would do is they would give not just free PDFs of the adventures these guys were running at conventions. I think they were just giving them like free PDFs of like a lot of their shit, like rule books, other adventures, that other people have to pay for as sort of quasi-payment. That's going to stop. That shit's going to stop, apparently. Yeah, we'll get to that too, about Karmelo. Trust me. I got that all locked and loaded, guys. Sit tight, relax. We going to get into all
chapter 2. We're still in chapter 1.
Yeah, you guys are reading ahead. We got to ease into it. I got to ease you into it. I got to buy you dinner first here.
Toby wants to know what you want to plug, Chris.
Yeah. Let's see, free access to Paizo-produced society scenarios, including those yet to be released. As we evaluate our current free DF policies, we may still offer selective grants to venture officers. Okay, so they have their favorites when the audit is concluded. But the volume of free products we've been distributing is no longer financially viable. They're giving away the house in like ebooks. They've also done some stuff in VTT, that is virtual tabletop. Sales have not covered development costs. We'll finish the current season, then pause VTT support for new society modules. Wow. So they're even pausing their VTT shit. This is serious. These changes are not a retreat. Paizo believes strongly in the power of organized play and always will. Fair enough. But the current publishing model for society scenarios ain't working, and they got to slow down to stem the losses. Yeah, I mean, I understand. This is the final page here. Despite the challenges, there are real reasons for optimism in the medium term. Okay. They've partnered with independent publishers group to rebuild their book trade presence. Sales still recovering, better than they were last year. New Paizo stores performing okay, I guess, including complete backlist. Measures are going to take time to bear fruit. Yep. Difficult decisions. I will now ensure Paizo, blah, blah, blah. So thank you, passion, blah, 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 blah. Applause off there, Double D. The big P figuring out communism doesn't keep a company afloat. RPG, well said, RPG Grandma. Yeah, so I'll give you my thoughts on this. Do I think Paizo is gonna recover? I do. I do. I think they're a little too big to fail. At least I should say they'll recover in the near to medium term. I think if they keep going like long term, well, I want to show you one thing. I want to show you one other thing too.
Panther, I think we're going to get to that in just a couple minutes here.
All right. So this shows you why maybe for long term, there ain't going to, it's not a pretty picture. I think they'll recover short to medium term. This is Avi Henriquez. Hey, folks, as some of you might have seen on the blog, Paizo was hit by layoffs today. I'm safe, but I don't feel particularly good about it due to many of my dearest friends finding out they're losing their livelihoods. As these fine folks are looking for jobs and mutual aid, please boost them. I mean, look at this living nightmare here. He, him, gay trans guy.
Raggedy Ann or Andy.
Yeah, Raggedy Ann. Yeah, Raggedy Ann. Lead editor at Paizo. This is your lead editor. Vampire enthusiast, union member, zine maker. Ooh. May contain bears.
Looks like a door knocker, too, if I'm not mistaken. Correct? Right there, dangling from the nose?
Yep.
It looks like it.
Yep.
And that's a beard, right?
It's on point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's on point. So who did they fire that maybe had a little bit more talent than this guy? I've never even heard of this guy.
No one has. He doesn't even know himself, obviously.
I'm telling you, you can't run a railroad that way.
Check the back of his jersey for his name. You know what I'm saying? Like, if no one knows who he is. So
this guy hasn't done anything. I mean, he's an editor, so maybe he's just organizing things. But man, in a place like Paizo, you got to think even the editors. Like I know Chris Perkins was an editor at Wizards of the Coast, but I know he had creative input. You can't tell me this guy doesn't have some creative input. If he's the lead editor at Paizo, the number 2 RPG company, and they have a mentally ill troon guiding their products, I don't have a lot of long-term faith in that company.
Here's a list of the players we're inviting to camp.
Cross him off.
Here is dead. Cross him off.
The reason that one is so funny to me is because we use that.
We do, yeah. It is in our rotation personally. Ryan for 2. Time to resubmit my CV. I'll rescue Paizo from the pits of Trooney despair. Hell, it's hell. Okay, I'm out for real now.
All right.
We love seeing you, buddy. We love seeing you.
Love having you in the chat.
Yeah, as always. Good to see you, Ryan.
Let me go back up.
Didn't see you
Wait,
saying
read that one real
Trump
quick while I
supporters.
find the other one.
Yeah, pretty much.
There we go. Mad Relic.
Mad Relic. We all know the rats will all swim over to Wizards of the Coast. Yep. They just go back and forth. It's this incestuous relationship that the two have.
Look who got a membership.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, what do you know?
Grandma. You can thank my buddy Sean. 5 memberships. Thank you,
You
Sean.
have nice manners for a thief and a liar.
I will be I will be running Shawnee Me Boy and Craig and a couple other of good channel supporters through Gelatinous Dude and his wife. They will all be going through a Hyperborea scenario on Friday at CNYCon. So good to see you guys here. Thank you so much. So that's my 2 cents. It's going to be tough, I think, for the short term for Paizo, but I think they will pull through. They have the name recognition. They're kind of just a smaller version of D&D that no matter how much they screw up, they can still just kind of rely on that sort of burger. They're like Burger King to Wizards of the Coast McDonald's. They can always just kind of, get by.
Right now, Burger King's going through a rebrand too.
Yeah, ours is getting rebuilt.
They're rebuilding, yes. And also, they fired the king and all this other, I don't know.
Can't fire the king.
Well, you
can't fire the king.
You can't have a king anymore. Come on.
Gone.
You can't do that.
No kings, right?
What is that?
No kings.
I want to do one thing. One thing.
Oh, yeah. Alliance is still distributing. It was
it's Alliance is the other one. Yes. Okay.
Alliance and Alliance was the villain in that situation and fared poorly. In fact, no, the comic book industry fared poorly.
Yep.
Brush up on my history here.
Yeah. 1 second here. These things always vex me. I'm terribly vexed. Like Commodus.
A busy little bee.
Busy. I saw that the other day. Busy little bees. There we go. Yeah, we'll just bring that up there. I'm a perfectionist, peeps. All right. One last RPG thing before we get into the gnarly news that maybe I want to show you the all right, so Gen Con released their cover of their catalog, which is always it's always kind of a barometer, I think, to where things are. The cover of the Gen Con catalog, which shows you all the games. Doesn't really do that now. It used to show all the games played, but at least like where all the vendors are, all the freebies and all that. So
some of that art in the past was pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, I picked up a couple. I want to grab a few before we see this year, so you can kind of tell me if you guys notice a pattern in the artwork. So this is 88. It's probably like maybe their 14th. It's all right.
It reminds me of an album cover.
Yeah. It definitely has that kind of vibes, doesn't it? Kind of an eclectic one for 91 Gen Con. We got D&D guys with a military guy. Interesting.
A high elf grabbing the gold.
Yeah. Kind of like this one. It's got a classic party and kind of a weird distorted room. Chessboard, perhaps. Now, this was our first year. In 2009 that we went, they had kind of this kind of female cosmonaut sort of.
In fact, that guy didn't he have a t-shirt booth there as well that year?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. Or it kind of had that vibe. Granted, it was all commie shit, but back in 2009, it was all just kind of for cutesy art. As you could tell, the girl's a little pin-uppy. I kind of liked it. Commie shit. Notwithstanding, of course. Now that I look back on it, I'm like, all right. But you can tell here, like, the chick is just a pinup chick. I think this is 2011. So you can already see here, they're getting more into the cutesy kind of animated, even though this isn't quite as bad as some of the later stuff that's coming. You can kind of see, okay, this is more comic book style art, which is okay. But you're already starting to see, female lead, and she ain't just a pinup. This is like girl power. A couple years later, I don't know if is that supposed to be the same character? She got like a blonde hair and a green cloak. I think that's like blonde hair. I don't know if that's supposed to be the same or not. But you got 2 chicks and a black dude getting off a boat.
Nick, we'll get to yours in just a second.
Just a moment, Nick. Yep. Good to see you here, Nick. I actually kind of like this one in a vacuum. They have way too many female leads on these, but I thought this was probably
I would have been at that one.
Yeah, this was your first one, I think. Yeah, that you 2018. So this was the last really good one they did. I thought. Okay.
What? I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, somebody we haven't.
We didn't go to that one.
Yeah. This is 2021 or something. Yeah, this was right after COVID.
Oh yeah.
Kind of a muddled sort of.
I kind of like the style of the art.
Yeah. So it's a little muddled. Not my favorite. Just doesn't really appeal to me, but I can kind of see it's not quite as bad as that last one. But and here we have 2023 full Cal Arts style with a little cutesy dragon and the queen. And then I think we were at this one, Rogan. Me, you, and Mrs. D. Kind of a return to form, at least. It's okay. It's not great, but again, we got the chick and the taming the dragons. But I'll give it a pass. And then this one, more of the soft, that kind of real soft art.
I just picture the B-side from Spock playing in the background.
Yeah. It's not pulp anyway. So this is this year's cover. That is this year's cover.
Mrs. D showed us this.
Yeah. Yeah, just awful. Absolutely awful. I'm sorry, I don't get it. I don't like the anime style. I don't like the kitties.
Looks like is that an animal playing poker with the
Yep. It's like an ostrich or a bird or some kind. Shit. Gotta give me nicks. Yeah. Haven't been around much lately. Wanted to swing by and let you know partially why. Oh, you're about to be a follow. Congratulations,
That's
Nick.
awesome.
That is awesome.
Hell yeah, man. You got a more important things to do. You can always catch us on the replay, buddy.
Yeah.
And I do see you on X ever so often. So congratulations, Nick.
Can I suggest Crazy Mouse as a name?
Double D, perhaps.
Rogan.
All right, middle name.
Rogan.
Middle name. Yeah, you don't want to scare your wife off. So. All right, that's cool. And thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Pink and blue. Yep. Got the bisexual lighting there, Joe. Yeah, so this, this is like the canary in the coal mine. You put your finger up. Gen Con, like it or not, it is the premier gaming convention for normies. It's so huge. So it kind of tells you the state of the industry, and the industry is still not where it should be. North Texas was awesome, says Jeff. I met Greg. Oh, cool. Got an autographed Barrow Maze. Nice. Met Jeff Talanian and Eric. Yep. I'll be seeing Greg and Eric in
Friday.
Yeah, Friday. I'm pretty sure Tenkar's going. I wish Jeff Talanian was. Maybe I'll see him the week after at Origins. I hope so. Jeff was a really, really cool dude. So, there you go.
Here's a general question. Did you see Masters of the
I've
Universe?
not. You're the second one that said that, Mark. Thought it was great. I think
Stern loved it.
Yeah, our friend Stern loved it. I think Kevin Lamb maybe on X, who's a good follow. I think Kevin Lamb was raving about it maybe. He said it was good. So, I don't know if I'm going to go to the theater to see it, but maybe I'll watch it in streaming now. Yeah. Yeah, I just bad time to go to the theater right now just because we're so busy, but who knows.
That art reminds me of the Girl Genius was a comic book by Phil Foglio, I believe his name is.
Yeah.
He did a lot of art for a lot of
in
other
Dragon.
things.
Phil did what was that comic? Is that Nodwick? Was that Phil?
I don't think it was Nodwick. No. I'm more familiar with Girl Genius, but he did an awful lot of stuff. But he did have a little blurb in that.
Okay.
A little, yeah. Did a lot of art though. Hopefully still does. But that
Wormy.
That
He did Yeah, he did Wormy. I knew Cal would. I was about to say, Cal, tell us. Cal knew. Yeah, Wormy. Okay. Yeah, good old school artist. Yeah. So, I mean,
Is this gracious?
Is this
what that a pig playing poker right there too? What is that?
I don't know what that is.
Looks like Porky Pig.
Guy in the center under the dragon. There's like a pink thing. What the fuck is
it's
that?
a kitty cat. Look, it's got a long tail. It's got
that's a cat.
collar
Yes,
thing
thank
on.
you.
It's got his little thing armor.
Oh,
on there.
I see. Yeah.
It's got his little white boots on.
Oh, that's cute.
Come on.
Oh. It's a tabaxi.
I see Tinkerbell right there.
Mm-hmm.
I see a lot of Tinkerbells.
I am.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
Well
I am 20% more gay now just for looking at this. So.
I'm 50% positive that dude's 100% gay.
All right, I think I did a lot of the RPG. Now
The most important tool is respect.
Gay. I do have a questing beast video, maybe, or a Garibay video we could go into. Oh, Dave. Okay, Dave. All right. So who did? I know Phil did something in Dragon, didn't he? Huh. Thank you, Badger.
What was Phineas Fingers?
Yeah.
Remember that one?
Getting it all messed up in my mind here. Craig for 10. I'm hoping Greg Gillespie will sign my copy of Dragonslayer. He will, trust me. Too bad Talanian won't be at CNYCon. Yeah, I think they asked. I don't know if it just didn't match up again this year. He almost came last year, and maybe it just between North Texas, and if he's also going to Origins, maybe it just doesn't line up. That would be like 3 conventions in like 2 weeks, which is crazy. I wanted to get him to sign my Hyperborea books. If you shipped it to him, I know he'd do it. If you were able to like ship it to him, he'd give you a personal inscription. I'd almost put money on it. That's Jeff's a good dude. So, and have no fear, Greg will give you a personal inscribe. He did it to mine last year, so he will absolutely do that for any of his fans. Phil and Dixie. Okay,
I was just about
that's
to say that.
it. Yeah, Phil and Dixie. I was like the kind of big, well endowed chick, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I was thinking. All right, I was getting it all mixed up.
Well.
Venger, yes, I know. Venger, I feel bad. This is 2 years in a row I've not been able to go. Venger, I will say this. I will soon be retired from my
Next
job.
summer.
By next summer, I will be retired.
We ain't gonna. Double D will be on the road every week.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that we will 3 years after the initial, that I will be back at VengerCon. So I hope you guys, if you're able to, if you're in the Wisconsin area, it is a really good convention. Nice hotel. Venger's a cool dude. Absolutely. I have no problem endorsing VengerCon.
I want to start up a pool to see how long it takes for you to buy a camper.
Oh, that's a good one. That'll be next week's poll.
RVing across America, huh?
On the road again.
Just can't wait to get on the road again.
On the road again.
Didn't the Muppets go on tour or something? Remember Fozzie Bear in like an RV or something like that?
Something like that.
All right.
Speaking of Fozzie Bear, look at this guy.
We got to get into it. Austin Metcalf, no longer with us. And that is because he was killed by Karmelo Anthony.
He's just such a good boy. The churches love him. He loves the churches. He helps out on the weekends.
He a good boy, as they say. He a good boy.
He ain't done nothing for nobody.
Nation shocked as jury rules you can't stab someone in the heart for no reason at all. So, gotta love the Babylon Bee, of course. Yeah, found guilty. Sentenced to 35 years in prison. I think they could have gone a little steeper as this
Couldn't
guy's
the punishment
trash.
fit the crime?
If these protesters were to actually look at the facts, like really read what exactly happened, this kid's guilty.
Oh,
I mean, what exactly happened, how it happened, where he was versus where he should have been.
Oh, fuck yeah.
The intent of why he was there.
Yep. This is some of the reaction. So we're going to go through it. Let me say this now. Okay. I am, as you guys know, I think there is a substantial portion of the black population I think is trash right now. I think there's also a substantial portion of the population that is just fine, varying degrees. You'll see both. Okay. But the bad is bad because basically all the kid on the left did was say, hey, you got to move. And I think put his hand on his shoulder and just said, come on, let's go. And then he got stabbed in the heart because that's what some of these kids do.
Why is he wielding a knife to begin with?
Yeah. Why are you bringing a fucking knife to it? Oh, it was only 4 inches. It's only 4-inch knife. It was legal. That was the big thing. Everybody thought he was going to get off because, hey, that knife was legal in Texas.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what?
Yes.
You could have a legal gun if you just go up and shoot someone. You're still going to be found guilty.
Hey, Epstein Island was considered his own nation, so it was legal what he did.
Yeah, it's everything that went on there is legal.
Yeah, it's legal.
So this is court TV. They got some liberal asshole.
I'm questioning the jury. I'm asking them, how did you reach your verdict? How did you reach it so quickly? What happened? It was a 4-inch knife. You used it one time.
It was a 4-inch knife. He used it one time.
It's just breaking it in.
He was just effective. He was effective. He only needed one shot. Roll the 20. Jiminy Christmas.
That's how you know these people have nothing. It was only a 4-inch knife. He only used it once. It's like, just step back. Are you listening to yourself? Do you understand what you just said?
He was pushed. I'm not saying that it was right, but what are you doing?
It's not right, but
So what's the opposite of not right?
Let bygones be bygones. Come on now.
How did you get this verdict? I'd want to know.
It's crazy. He only murdered one person. There's plenty of people there.
It's only one.
Question, right? I'm questioning my identity right now, and I have nothing to do with this case.
Questioning your identity right now.
He had a plan to do something, but he's so young that his plan really didn't count.
Yeah. He gets a do-over. In golf, they call it a mulligan. He gets a mulligan.
He gets one in 17 and a half years.
I think a young man like that, he'll slide himself into a good bunch of people that will treat him marvelously.
He'll be protected in prison. You trust me. He'll be protected.
But also, he's young. He's going in there. He's going to have to pay a price with his own people. He's going to be at the bottom of the food chain.
See, I disagree. I think they're going to treat him as a hero. I think the Aryan nation is going to be like, now, do they want to start a race war in whatever prison they're in? That's not good for any inmate. When they start doing that stuff, people are just getting
when you're doing life
shivved.
And you're bored.
Yeah. So no, I got a feeling he's gonna do some. I mean, he's in big boy prison, but I got a feeling he'll be protected. All the brothers in prison, they're going to protect him. So
how could you come back like that? I would be enraged. I'm enraged right now. This is very upsetting.
Yeah. Tell that to the parents who had to bury their son.
Yeah.
That just kicks me right in the heart.
Ultra TTPRG to all the protesters. All right, that's it. You're getting a slur. You've earned it. Oh my God, you wouldn't want to be called a racist. Oh my God, you might. Just these are some of the average tweets that were going out. An all white jury, not true. There was Hispanics and Asians on it, no blacks, thank God. Those racists believe black people have no right to defend themselves from what? He was unarmed.
I bet you she wasn't even a real doctor.
I would guess not on there. Karmelo Anthony verdict is no different than the railroading of John White, who defended his family against a violent white thug, or Corey Pujols in Florida. This is about the selective persecution of black people who dare to defend themselves from white attackers.
So so he was selected, picked up by a bunch of white people, brought over there. Hey, by the way, why don't you hold on to this knife? And then he was selected, really?
This is, and of course you see this. What about the part where he stabbed the kid in the chest and killed him? And then you see this fucking brother here. That's the best part. That's the best part. So here's what leftism has done to this country and society in general. They have managed to convince a large portion of the black population that them not being able to stab a white boy to death and get away with it is injustice. That is what leftism has done to the country. That is the slow creep of leftism. So, as I said, anytime somebody says, you guys just need to give up this whole culture war stuff. No, that's the kind of stuff we're fighting. It's this stuff that pays dividends for them well down the road. That you have some of the footage that you're about to see next of all these fucking insane black people thinking that a deep injustice went on when there was a white boy lying dead in the ground. Yeah, they had exactly, Matt. They had anti-white comments because they can't help their fucking racism. It's what they do.
what do you want us to do? What do you want us to do at this point? What?
Stop stabbing people.
Yeah. Maybe just not stab people to death.
Maybe when you're told not to be someplace you're not supposed to be, just to walk the fuck away.
How about we at least start with not stabbing white people to death? If you want to stab each other, it's not a good thing, but if you're bound and determined to do it, just whatever. Yes, exactly. Stop killing people. Stop stabbing and shooting people.
I don't know what to do. I got 5 boys. I don't
Shocking.
know what. I ain't got nothing to tell them no more.
And they're all in prison. So they're safe.
Well, statistically, 3 of them are.
Wait no more.
Rest in peace, Trayvon Martin.
Oh. Yeah, Trayvon Martin. Another hero.
They told me that they found Karmelo Anthony guilty of killing that bitch-ass white boy.
Bitch-ass white boy. So you got to remember, it ain't. I'll show you definite proof. It ain't every black person that thinks like this. So it's hard. The ones that do are fucking animals, like literal, like 60 IQ animals. People like this. But there are just normal black people who are like, are you guys fucking insane?
And honestly, Chad, you can't really expect much in America. I didn't think you would get found guilty, but I'm not surprised by this. When you know what the criminal justice system is and what it's really meant to do, you don't get surprised at outcomes like this. They'll let that nigga Rick Chow out, but they won't free Karmelo Anthony. A man who actually had his life threatened by 2 big-ass white boys. It was me, I'd stab both the niggas. But free Karmelo Anthony, man. He ain't do shit to nobody.
He went in there looking for a fight. He had no reason to be near there.
He didn't do shit to nobody. That was his last line. He didn't do shit to nobody, other than just killing someone. Violent savages. What else can you say?
Ain't nothing but air and opportunity.
I don't know if you saw this. Props to the old white guy here, surrounded by this lunatic. And you can watch it in the upper corner too. You can see earlier what this guy was doing. He was trying to provoke him, jumping in front of him. But just listen to this lunatic trying to bait this white guy. This white guy ain't having it.
Do something, the same thing that you were going to do to her. We both got our hands behind our back. Let's have a conversation. Why did you get in her face? Why did you get in her face? You did. You approached a black woman.
Oh, you approached a black woman. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you're 25 feet away and you looked at her. You approached her.
What's the sentence for that? Approaching a black woman. And trust us, 99 times out of 100, we're trying to get away from black women.
Don't do that.
Go ahead, turn yours up a little, Rogan.
That is a woman. That is a woman. That is a woman. That is a woman. Pussy. That is a woman. Pussy. That is a woman. That is a woman.
Yeah. And she'll swing her fist like any other man.
Yep.
And they'll go ape shit before any white person does.
Yep.
I apologize for the pun.
A mother, a sister. Okay, you can keep your homophobia. It's Pride Month. It's Pride Month, and we got hella pride.
It's Pride Month. We got hella pride.
It's Pride Month for them every day.
Yes.
Every day. Except
it's 24/7, 365.
Hey, look at this. I smashed the window, grabbed this. I'm proud. Look at this. Look at this.
We are proud. We proud. That dude never lost it. Just stood there and was like, nope. So whoever that white guy was, and God bless you, sir.
Where was
Love
that?
You. I think that was right outside the courthouse. Yeah, I think that was right there.
To protect black people. Anytime a white man or a white child can go and put their hands aggressively on anybody and something like this occur, it's self-defense.
Hold on.
I saw this one.
1 second. I want to go. She just said anytime you put your hands on somebody, it's self-defense.
Hey, wasn't you on jury selection?
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. Seriously. No, he wasn't. He wasn't.
He was on jury selection.
He's a vet, dude. He's a vet. He's a vet. He ain't been on jury selection.
I ain't worried about that.
Fuck you.
You gonna die.
Quit, dude.
You on jury? Wasn't you on jury?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't.
You on jury selection?
He wasn't.
You was on jury selection?
You on jury selection. So what does this guy deserve? He just put his hands on a possibly like a down and out vet.
Oh, but that
He is a
reason
vet. That's stated in the thing.
Yeah.
The reason was legit though. He was on jury selection. It could have put him in prison.
Yeah. Only problem is this is Jacksonville. if you go by the account, this is Jacksonville, Florida. The trial was in Texas. This dumb nignog just fucking clocks a veteran. So according to Shamiqua here, what do we do with this guy? He deserves what, Shamiqua? What does he deserve? You tell me.
Understanding.
You fucking lunatic. You 60 IQ dum-dum.
A 28th time chance. 49th time chance.
Yeah. That's okay. No, he misunderstood. He didn't mean to hit that vet. $10 from Wayne. Good to see you again, Wayne. He hates white people and says you can't expect much in America, but has zero thoughts about leaving it. Yep, and going to where his people live because we have running toilets. Yeah, he's talking about that last guy.
Well. Bye.
Indeed. Thank you, Wayne.
It's self-defense. You put your hand on me and see how I respond. Beat your motherfucking ass.
You put your hand on me and see how I respond. Goes to the old meme. This goes around all the time on X. Why are you guys so violent? Say it to my face and I'll kill you.
I have no relation. We black. We're brothers. We're black. We're brothers and sisters. We're blacks. We're the indigenous people of this earth.
Oh, please. Know your history. Know your history. No,
God.
No, that's not
You
true.
keep using the word.
Yeah.
I don't think it means what you think it means.
Just because you got a... I ain't going to go there. I'm not
Best
going
not to.
there.
It's a repeat. Black people, black sisters and brothers, black kings and queens, we gotta stick together. This makes no goddamn sense. That young boy, he was defending his goddamn self. We gotta stick together.
Defending himself.
Kings and queens. Where's your nation at?
Fucking defending himself. These fucking people. Man.
We gotta stop hurting one another.
And I mean exactly what you think I mean by these fucking people.
And there's going to be a lot of violence in that area against white men, as this goes. And this is just going to percolate more until something bad happens. A lot of bad things happen.
But I mean, it happens all the time.
Yes.
You just find
they want it to happen because they were surrounding that white guy with the flag shirt on that we were just watching. They wanted a riot. They wanted to kill him.
Yeah, they wanted him to
They wanted him to do something so that all 15 of them could have jumped him.
And they would have. All 15 would have beat up a 60-year-old guy.
Freaking Lord of the Dance right on top of that. Dude.
Exactly. Because as I said, it ain't all. I know it ain't all. There's a lot of great brothers, a lot of great sisters too. But there's a hefty percentage. I go between say like 60% sometimes, especially in situations like this. These people are just animals.
Just like they doing this to Karmelo, guess what? It could be your child, little kids out here. It could be
little kids.
Yeah, it was somebody's child that got killed.
Yeah,
not yours.
Yeah, exactly. A fucking child did get killed.
Yeah.
Because you have low impulse control. You're violent. You keep getting, I guess you could call it brainwashed. Keep getting brainwashed by the left and the Democrats and everybody else that you're just this perpetually aggrieved party in everything.
This is pretty shitty, but evolutionary and societal ways thinking about this, he's actually going home. He is because
look,
in the past 40, 50 years, this is the progress. This is like generation after generation of people they are on EBT and go into prison. You guys, this young man's going home.
Look, if you're between, I think it's like 15 and like 50 or at least 40, like 2/3 of black men are like in jail, on probation, on parole, or awaiting trial. You're in the system. And I know a lot of you think like, a lot of them, not you guys, but a lot of them think like, oh, well, that's systemic racism. It's like, no, it's because you can't follow simple laws. You get pulled over for a simple speeding ticket. And then instead of just saying, here's my license, just fucking take it. Give me the ticket. You have to start shit. And it's so dumb. Why do you do that? Osiris for 10.
You're a bastard from a basket!
They want a license to take out white people with no consequences. Yeah, all this talk about tribalists sticking together while they rip each other apart in liberal cities. Yeah, like Chicago. It happens all the time. You know, you get the weekend stats for Chicago, and they're killing each other. And liberals don't give two shits about that. That serves their purpose just as much. And apparently these people don't mind it either because they don't say anything. And a lot of times it's conservatives like saying, what do we do about all this crime in Chicago? And then you look around and realize like all these people hate you. You know, they want you dead and they don't care. So why should you? I mean, I guess you should as a Christian. You don't want people just murdering each other. You know, it's not good for society in general either. Amino for 10.
They're schemers. Schemers trying to control their little worlds.
Schemers indeed. We got plenty of boats. Send them back to Chimpland. Also, 70 to 80% at least from the stats I've seen that are either racist or think they deserve reparations. Well, we can argue about that. I like to be hopeful. You know, I know some black people, and you know, so, like I said, to varying degrees, some are harmless and on the take. You know, some just don't care. You know, maybe. But they won't go along with this shit either. You know, maybe they just are like, I don't care. You know, I just want to live my life.
Just cut my hair.
Just cut my fucking hair. Yeah. You know, and there's a smaller percentage that are actively against this shit. You'll see a few. Wish every major city in the U.S. had a website like Chicago's HeyJackass.com, says Badger.
Check that out.
Yeah, I got to check that out, Badger. Thank you.
We got to fight for one another.
You know what you don't see in there? You actually don't see any truly educated African-American people in there speaking up.
No.
They want to quote all this stuff about this, that, and the other thing.
mean,
where they come from, they own the world, they're kings and queens and stuff like that. But like, you know, if your culture was so big on, you know, being educated and having a good, solid argument about what's going on, where are they at? They're not there. You know why? Because they know you're wrong.
Yep.
Rumble's frozen there, Sam.
Yeah.
Cotton picking rumble.
Looks like it's going on my end. Just refresh it. I would say maybe just refresh it. Oh, the chats. I'm sorry, the chat. Sorry. Yep. Let me do that. I don't know why it does that ever so often. I don't know. There's that. All right. There we go. Okay. Hope that does it. In fact, we'll even go here. Thank you for letting me know. Much appreciated. Okay, back to you, Crazy Mouse. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Rogan, it's the same reason you don't see a lot of like counter demonstrators who are like, gee, Austin Metcalf deserved life. It's like they know what's going to happen. They know what you're dealing with. If it's not just straight up leftists, it's I hate these people with a propensity for violence. This percentage of the population that has a propensity for violence, and they don't want to have anything to do with it. And you know what? Who would know better than, you know, the sane black people? They're probably like, I don't want to get near these people. I know what they're all about.
We got. They say that it's not about race, but there was not one goddamn black person on that jury. You know?
Could have been. Can't control your own racism.
Don't get pissed off at everybody else. You had a lawyer. Your lawyer is partly responsible for picking those people. So they picked the ones that were as best as possible for the best outcome for this young black guy. They chose the white people instead of the black people. Why? Because you can't pick the white people because they're going to go in there and run their mouth. They're not going to be acceptable to be on that in that situation.
Well, they had a GoFundMe.
Who's this brave soul right here?
Oh yeah, the white guy peeking in from the left there.
Reminds me of that. Remember that skit from Saturday Night Live and it actually happened? Remember that guy wandered into the White House?
Oh yeah, yes. just passing through. I mean, the defense was horrible. They could have afforded a better one, but I guess they used the GoFundMe to get like new cars and a mansion and shit. Because
someone mentioned that in the chat a little while ago that they spent their money on the defense fund on other stuff.
Yeah. So they got a defense who called like 3 witnesses, and just in the same respect, I don't want to hear about a bad defense. How do you defend this? The kid just turned around and stabbed a kid with a knife. What do you want the defense to do? I mean, the only other thing is maybe claim insanity, generational trauma.
Oh, gosh. Back to Africa syndrome.
We gotta tell our kids the truth.
And these, I think, are the Black Panthers.
That this is a racist ass country. We gotta tell them the truth. Who don't get stop that cool ass shit? Don't nobody want to hear about what we do to each other. We talking about what they doing to us.
Yeah, I tell you what, lady, I help pay for your free health care.
Yeah. But did you hear her say, like, yeah, I don't want to hear what we do to each other. So why does the black on black violence continue? Because grifting pigs like these people.
Can we talk about the elephant in the room, literally? Look at the size of her cans.
I know. Just disgusting.
That's no longer
just
cans.
Disgusting.
White folks kill.
Look at that. Ugh.
White folks. Mexicans kill Mexicans. We ain't trying to hear no cool shit today.
And you kill everybody. You kill everybody. Unlike everybody else, you kill everybody.
Gotta admit it, equal opportunity killers.
Yep.
This is a racist ass country. We're in a racist ass state.
So you want to see the bottom of the barrel before you get to the actual murderers? It's these fucking Al Sharpton type grifters. This is the bottom of the barrel. This pig and these fucking...
What if she was at an amusement park and they have those sketch artists that draw you? And it's a caricature of yourself. How big would he make her boobs?
Oh my God. I don't even want to...
This is a racist ass court. There ain't nothing else to talk about. When there's a
yeah, zoom in on him. God, just what we wanted.
You know, some dude is loving that shit.
I know.
Yep.
Check out my OnlyFans.
White boy been for all black jury. Never.
How's it burner?
This is racist.
Is he okay?
Is that the same? Wait, is that the same woman from before?
I think that
It
was.
is. That's why this was all outside the courtrouse. All outside the
woman
courthouse.
with the IQ of 43.
What do you want me to do?
Okay, I have something to say regarding the Karmelo Anthony verdict. As black parents, you have the responsibility to teach your kids white supremacy and how it works.
Huh?
I feel bad for the real Karmelo Anthony right now.
I know, yeah. So, he's probably like, God, why am I?
For all you non-sports ball fans, there's a Hall of Fame basketball player named Karmelo Anthony, spelled differently.
But it's one of these things, like if you didn't know any better and you woke up from like a coma, you'd be like, oh my God, who killed this Karmelo? Which white kid killed Karmelo Anthony? Oh no, he killed an unarmed white kid.
It's Bizarro World.
Yeah, and they'd be like, well, all right, so why are these people doing all this? Ask every fucking lunatic leftist since, for a while, but especially it got amped up after George Floyd. I mean, that's where it has its roots.
Saint Floyd?
Yeah, Saint Floyd of fentanyl. Yeah, exactly, Chris, yeah.
I am praying to God that Karmelo Anthony gets found innocent. Because a lot of these white folks need to understand you cannot go around putting your hands on people and expecting nothing to happen. You cannot go around talking shit to people.
Shut up, you fucking wigger. Oh my God.
You've been around the white folks too long.
You know what, dude? All the white people that work around you hate your fucking guts. Not because of what you're saying.
I would disown him as a son, wouldn't you? I'd be like, sorry, son.
I love you, but you got to
go
get
play
the fuck
amongst
away
the.
from me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go down to 3rd and Wallace.
Love you from afar.
Yeah, I love the memory of you when you were a cute baby.
I said afar, not Jafar.
I like that one. You can't, but just this conceit now. You can't put your hands on people and expect not to get stabbed and killed. Right. So like just gently like putting your hands on someone's back, like, come on, we got to go, let's go. You disrespect me, man. I'm gonna kill you. Fuck off.
That black lives do not matter in the criminal justice system.
Watch this.
It lets us know that we are not going to be afforded the same laws.
This is like the spokesman for the family. Do you notice the MLK inflection in his voice?
Oh, yes.
Little black boys and little black girls.
Ask anybody else. And I give a damn about nobody that feels like I'm playing the rape card here.
But you are.
So we're going back on the good side here. So you've seen the worst. Now I want you to see some of the best. Yeah. This is a brother, Sheldon Daniels, going to be convicted and sentenced. He murdered that boy because he was raised to hate white people and to view himself as a victim in every situation. It's a culture thing. Absolutely. Mr. Daniels, thank you. Matt Walsh, Karmelo Anthony's parents wanted their son to live in a gated community, and now he will. So it all kind of worked out for him in the end. And this is a YouTuber, Nate the Lawyer, who's a brother who's also a lawyer. As I predicted, Karmelo was found guilty of murder. From the facts presented, this always appeared to be a straightforward case. It was. It's unfortunate the discussion became centered on race when the core issue was that a person was killed without legal justification. If you want to look at it in the cold legal light, that's exactly true. So well done.
You know, it would be one of those things if you were reading about it and you didn't, if like we didn't have the internet and all that stuff and you were just reading about the case, unfortunately, you'd have to change all the names.
Yeah.
So that you wouldn't be able to just assume races.
Yeah,
but they're not.
But yeah, if you just had AB.
Yeah.
Person A stabbed AB. This is what you'd be like, oh yeah, well, person A is going to prison.
Only black.
All right. So let's let this run without comment because this guy bears listening to. Listen up to this guy.
Black people are at the point where they will feel sorry for the criminal and the murderer more than the actual person who's not with us anymore. The actual victim, they don't care about. Everyone feels sorry for this little monster. I never felt comfortable around you niggas. That's why I got the hell away from y'all. Y'all think this is a game. Like, oh, you're just saying this for likes and clicks. No, I'm not even near you niggas. My kids don't go to school with you niggas. This ain't for likes. This is for real. Like growing up when my friends would come over, hey, my dad would check them at the door. Listen, man, you gotta take that do-rag off. This do-rag ain't allowed here. My dad didn't like do-rags. Because he watches the news. He see who's doing the killing. Take that do-rag off before you come over. And that's all. Like, and you know, when I was a kid, I didn't understand. I'm like, why is dad like this? What's going on with dad, Ma? Why is he tripping? Why is he embarrassing me? My mom sat me down and told me a story. Listen, your dad's seen a lot of things. What do you mean, Ma? What happened? You know, I never told you this, and don't tell your father I told you, but when we were young, you know, we used to party at your dad's house, you know, when we were 16, and his brother had just come home from the military. His brother was older, you know, your father looked up to him. He was kind of the protector of the home. Everybody loved him. He was just a great guy. Just came home from the military. You know, and they threw a party for him. Celebrating, everybody celebrating downstairs. What happens? A knock on the door. My father's brother goes up the stairs, opens the door. What is it? A bunch of monsters. You know, do-rag wearing monsters. Yo, we want to come to the party. My father's brother tells him, no, you're not allowed. Nobody else is allowed. We're going to just keep having this party and you guys are going to leave. What do? Oh, yeah? Put a gun to his head, shoot him in the head. He fall down the stairs, dies in front of my dad. My dad is traumatized by y'all. From that moment, man, he just didn't want nothing to do with you. He stayed in Brooklyn a little longer, seen more things happen, and then he got to them books. Yo, I got to get out of here. I cannot raise a family here. It's not safe. It's a reason why people want to get away from y'all. You have an animalistic monster mentality. Nobody wants to be around. Shoot first, ask questions later. That's how y'all move. Y'all don't even fight no more. Ain't no hands, one-on-ones. Y'all just go straight to killing. Obviously, it's not all black people. There's a lot of good black people out here. There's a lot of monsters as well. And it's not hard to tell who's who. And that is exactly why Austin Metcalf didn't want that boy around. And he was right.
Damn straight, brother.
True that.
So you always got to remember there is a population out there that know exactly what's going on. You know, it's just that the media, they love to promote all those fucking dumb shamiquas with 60 IQs and all the, as he coins it, all the monsters. Yeah, exactly, Pundit. Hey, good to see you, Pundit. Yep. Yeah, I noticed that in the story. I'm like, he has a mom and a dad. Makes all the difference in the world. Crazy Mouse Double D, go look up George Floyd Zippo lighter.
Doing that right now.
At the photo. Okay, we'll do. Yeah, new kind of self-segregation. Yeah, the successful ones do realize this. They do need to get away. Because they realize they can't keep fucking doing this. If you're a normal black person, you have kids, why would you want this life for them? Why would you want them to be around that? If I was black and had kids, I would be moving to the whitest fucking community I could. Oh, you and Uncle Tom. So what? I'm gonna make some money. I'm gonna integrate into society. I'm gonna learn how to speak, and my kids are gonna be successful while yours are in fucking jail. My kids are gonna be the 33%. Yours are gonna be the 66%.
And what this guy says,
what's up, Chris?
What this guy says is applicable to white people as well. Because I remember growing up, and we wanted to get out of a neighborhood when I was real little, and it was just all white trash.
Yeah, you get areas like that too. Yeah,
just dangerous, shitty people.
Yeah,
it's not a race thing because white people don't like to be around certain white people that are garbage.
Yeah, if you're in amongst that particular, I know exactly what you mean. Yep. Yeah, I hear you, Chris. I hear you, brother. Good to see you.
Karmelo Anthony unalived Austin Metcalf. He stabbed him in the chest. That's a fact. It was not self-defense. If they were getting into a little teenage altercation on a track field under a tent over a seat, that does not qualify having a weapon in your backpack that you had already gotten in trouble for, taking it out and stabbing a kid in the chest because you were bullied before. Like, are you people, black people, are you kidding me right now? The word accountability just kind of goes right over your head. Y'all don't even know what that is. But what you do know is emotional manipulation. Because how about after Austin Metcalf realized he lost his son, he's gone, and then shows up at the Anthony press conference and they kicked him out. I remember that. Wait till you see his background. That's who they hired. Yeah. Threw him out. Talking about it was disrespectful. The mother with the tears, oh, we're victims, never once apologized for her son's horrible behavior. But you guys are like, it was self-defense. And then coming in people's comments talking all kind of nonsense. They rented a $900,000 house with the money you donated. That's a fact. Don't come in my comments saying, that's not true, that's false. It's true. The internet is free. Really, it is. And they did buy a Cadillac Escalade and 2 other vehicles. You can research it. And the police reports are out. You can read them. So when are you going to get accountability, black people? Because y'all did the same thing with all of the other situations. And do you not find it interesting that the midterm elections are next year? They do this the beginning of every election cycle.
Sorry, you cut out there. I didn't do that.
He's going
Last one.
to jail. Black people, stop sticking up for that young man. He murdered somebody. He's going to jail. And y'all
I can't tell if this is a female wigger or a light-skinned black girl, but I agree with what she's saying.
Well, they've been killing
go
us
with the
for
mulatto.
years. That's how I feel.
Yeah, probably. Probably.
Stop it. Nothing's ever going to get better with that weak mindset, okay?
I'm kind of digging on her eyes.
I was going to say beautiful eyes.
It's not the 1950s anymore. It's present day. It's right now. It's happening today. No matter how you look at it, he's wrong. I don't care if he got jumped. I don't care if they was in a fight. I don't care if he was being verbally abusive. He's wrong. You cannot just kill somebody.
Well said.
But the entitlement mentality thinks differently.
Yeah, I mean, it's big business. Everybody saw Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton and was like, oh, man, they got big bucks for being perpetual victims. So now every opportunity.
Anyone who is familiar with Al Sharpton, look up the Tanya Brawley, that whole situation.
That'll make your blood boil.
Situation right there. Here's a man who killed himself, who was just bastardized and harassed for not doing a fucking thing because a young woman lied. The guy was so focused on hate and so fearful, he took his own life over a fucking lie. Locked herself in a church, and only Al Sharpton could talk to her because only he could talk to the burning bush. Garbage.
Al Sharpton, one of the most demonic men on planet Earth, masquerading as a Christian, whatever, minister, preacher, whatever. One of the most evil people on planet Earth is Al Sharpton. Responsible, by the way, for the death of, over time, over how long? Indirectly, probably thousands of black people dying, just because we keep the cycle going, and people like him It's just money. It's just money. He does not care one bit about black people.
No.
And as you can see, there are good, decent, normal black people. And they're as sick of it as we are. But there is a whole lot of people going around, these dumb, uneducated morons, who think that somebody who actually stabbed someone in the heart, a unarmed person in the heart, was justified. Are you fucking kidding me? You got to be kidding me.
Lawful Good is up 57-43 over Tiamat.
Ooh, I like it. We got a.
They've all been really close.
Yeah,
so far.
We have a good chat.
Looks like this will be the
Breaking good.
first one that I voted for that will lose.
Yeah, you're on Tiamat's side.
I was on Tiamat's side.
Okay, so now we go back. We saw last week when police arrested someone, Henry Novak, who was bleeding out, and the police were so scared of being called racist that they handcuffed him and then essentially watched him bleed to death. Well, guess what happened a day or two ago, I think, in Belfast. Now, that is Northern Ireland, so remember, that is still UK. That is not Ireland proper. That is UK. What do we got here?
No, he's not.
Has he got leave?
Yeah. Get off.
So that is a Somali immigrant in the UK.
Doing what they do naturally.
Yeah. Trying to behead someone.
Off him, you fucking rat. Yo! He's cutting him. He's cutting him.
He's trying to cut his head off. He's mate, hurry up.
Hurry up.
This filthy savage is trying to behead or scalp this guy.
Does this guy live?
He does.
I hope so.
He does. And I'm not going to show anymore. I don't want to get demonetized or anything. So, hell yeah. Hyperborea is going to be running it 2 days from now.
I did download that, by the way.
Hyperborea?
Yes. Yeah.
Good game.
I haven't looked through it, though. I haven't looked through it. It was a
good
lot.
old school game. Yep.
Yeah. Drive-through RPG.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I have a PDF copy of it there, too. Yeah, I think they did intervene, so I'm probably not giving those people enough credit. I mean, in some regards, you hate it when people just hold their cameras and don't do anything. Those people did do something, and because they were holding their cameras, now riots have exploded in the UK in general because, newsflash, white people don't want to be beheaded, and they're sick of it. And they want to, a fair number of people in the UK want to see these people driven into the fucking sea. They want to see like St. Patrick. Didn't he like drive the snakes into the sea or something? Shit.
Yeah, there's a different history on that though.
Yeah.
though.
But that's what they want, and I don't blame them anymore. I can't blame them anymore because these people you're taking these people out of the jungle and throwing them into one of the oldest Western civilizations in the world. And you expect these 60 IQ mongrels to what? Just blend in? It's almost not their fault. They're almost like wild animals. It's these fucking leftist liberal politicians like Keir Starmer and that other guy. He's like a minister or something who defend all this. And of course, there were fires in Belfast. People were quasi-rioting, I think with purpose, and were very justified. But, you get Keir Starmer saying, we will not tolerate this, and you're expecting him to say this beheading, this attempted beheading. We will not tolerate this violence from the far right. Oh, okay, so you're just going to blame everything on the far right.
The chat said that he will be blind in both eyes. He's in critical condition.
That's fucked up.
Because you people, you fucking liberals in the UK, let in a bunch of fucking savages.
Yeah. If we look at where these people come from, and under like these people that are okay with it, just stop and take a step back and look where these come from, and look what these people do their own, much less other white people in their own environment. And you want them in this environment, you want them over in Europe, you want them over in America, and you're okay with that because not all of them are bad.
Yep,
they're worse than pit bulls.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't trust.
When I say they're animals, I'm not saying that to insult them. I'm saying a lot of these people have 60 to 70 IQ. Okay, and that's not like, oh, again, that's an insult. No, like they've done tests. Look up a world IQ map. See where the worst parts are.
You brought that up.
Hint, hint.
Was that last week?
At some point, maybe. There's a couple. There's the consanguineous marriage map. That's marrying first cousins. That follows the Muslim world. The low IQ, I hate to say it, it's all Africa. Facts are facts. And like I said, it's almost not fair to them. They're just trying to like get, get free shit. And I guess take out their violent tendencies on white people. I blame the fucking white people, liberals and leftists in the European Union who are saying, yeah, please come. We need more of you. We need more of you savages to come here with your, with your machetes. And then they blame people for getting pissed. The way I see it, you have like one chance, and that's to elect like someone like Nigel Farage. Yeah, you can train pit bulls, not these people. Yeah, barely train pit bulls, but yeah, point taken. Yeah, so if they don't elect someone like Nigel Farage to be the next minister, who's at least going to, if nothing else, going to at least stop the spigot of people coming in. I mean, it's at a certain point, you're going to be like a 25% minority, 20 to 25% minority in your own country, as you watch these goons and baboon savages just destroy everything. There's no ulterior motive. They're upfront about it. They want to end your civilization. They hate you. They will, with these Muslims in the UK, we've seen they will rape your daughters. They have grooming gangs. They'll get them hooked into drugs, and then they will just run these fucking savages from Pakistan through them.
Everyone's saying Rupert Lowe is the guy to.
Oh, is it? Well, whatever. Either one, if Lowe's better, that's fine. Yeah, Tommy Robinson. Yeah, if he was running. I'm just saying, I think Farage, at least he's a little more milquetoast, but I think at least he understands what the problem is. But yeah, if there's somebody better, that's fine. So I mean, some of you guys would know better than me. So Antonio for 5, playing Conan and not using Blood and Steel. Crom would be disappointed. Check out Blood and Steel. You can put a link in the chat. Is Farage garbage? Okay, he might slow things a bit, but the only hope for Britain is Rupert Lowe. Okay, fair enough. Yep.
I tell you
It's a shame because I liked Farage when he was taking him out of the EU. Go ahead.
That wouldn't be happening there if Thatcher was still alive.
Oh, yeah. No, sir. The Iron Lady. God, she was something. Yeah, Chris, it's going to take hard times require hard solutions. And when you give up your guns... Now, I'm just talking theoretically here. This is not a call to action, but I hear that if you have a 3D printer, you can 3D print certain things. Like if I was in the UK and I felt, my life was in danger, I might look into options about things that I could, unconventional things I could print with a 3D printer, because I know those things are out there. And not related at all, this is what happens when you give up your guns, because now British citizens have no guns. So do you think the government fears their citizens? No, of course not. This is why you never give up your guns. The day you elect politicians and then the police start knocking on your door to turn in your guns, that is the day you and I turn renegade. And I've told Mrs. D this. I said, honey, I will accept a lot of things and keep fighting. I said, if somebody knocks on this door to take, any of my 4 guns away, I said, it's over. I said, that's the day I turn outlaw. And it's like, what do you want? I mean, hopefully that'll never happen. And if it does, I'll be in my 70s or whatever. What do I got to lose at that point? But fuck no. That's how you get to where Britain is. When the government does not fear its citizens, and every government should fear its citizens, they will trample all over your rights. They will literally bring in third world people to just outbreed you, murder you, assault you. So, as Chris said, got some hard solutions. I'm glad we're not at that point here yet. I really am.
I don't think we're ever going to get there. I think there's going to be a lot of back and forth. That's always going to happen. But
I would hope.
I just think that, I really, honestly, if our nation lives to be 1,000 years old, I think we're good for at least a good 500 of it.
I hope so. We have two things going for us: the Second Amendment and states' rights. A lot of states will just essentially be like, "Well, fuck that. We're not doing that." And if they challenge the federal government, you can always just kind of call their bluff and say, "Well, go ahead and enforce it." It's like Andrew Jackson's, when he was going after the Indians and the Supreme Court was trying to stop him, and the Supreme Court did hand down a ruling, and he said, "Yeah, the Supreme Court made their decision. Now let them try to enforce it." It's going to take a little bit of that kind of mentality to get through this, I think. I think we definitely need the SAVE Act to protect our elections, and that is to prevent this kind of thing. This is from James O'Keefe, the great James O'Keefe Media.
God, we're going to give you $2. We just need 14 signatures.
The petitioner Brenda Brown hands cash money to the homeless person, not only for signing the California ballot initiative, but also as payment for them to register to vote.
Now, because you haven't registered, I need to register you so I can get paid too. I'm paying you guys, I need to get paid. Come on.
That is a federal felony, and it didn't just happen once. It happened over and over and over.
Arrest everyone involved.
We personally witnessed and covertly filmed this happening at least 28 times over the span of our investigation, and that
Arrest
is
every
just
single
in
one
Los
of them.
Angeles. Many of the homeless have zero understanding of what it is that they're actually signing.
But what is that petition for? You know the petition for?
I do not know. The petitioners instruct the homeless to enter made-up addresses like Pinocchio Lane.
What do I put as my address? Yeah, just put you live on Pinocchio Lane.
Oh, you can just fake it.
Oh, good.
And all of this occurring just outside the front doors of shelters and NGOs such as Weingart Center, which have received hundreds of millions of dollars in government money. One Weingart employee tells us when and where to find the illegal cash exchanges for signatures outside, and says the cash being given out is coming from a higher source.
Do you know if they provide the money that they're handing out?
Yeah,
the company
that's what they give out. When they give the money out, they got to go back and tally up if they stealing the money or not, so they got to have signatures. Most of them they be right across the street under that tree. You can check with them Monday through Friday.
While another Weingart employee advises the homeless on how to practice plausible deniability and ignorance of the law.
See, they say ignorance is not excuse for the law. But a lot of times I have to say I didn't know. I had no idea.
All right, so if you're wondering, like Spencer Pratt went from second in the mayoral runoff for LA and dropped to third due to what most people see as a statistical impossibility.
Absolutely.
That the third person ended up beating not only Spencer Pratt, but actually like the first place person. It's just statistically, it wouldn't happen. It's funny because he was down. He ended up going down by like 43,000 votes. And Spencer Pratt was like, gee, where have I seen that number before? And he pointed to the homeless population in like LA was right around this number. Hey, Hero, what's up? Almighty 377. Yep, you're absolutely right. They want to destroy our country with importing savages. Patriots have to stay strong. Stay strong, brother. We got to hang together or we will surely hang separately. Fuck yeah.
Arrest these people, enforce the laws. Don't let them get out in 2 days. I mean, you have just across the board with everything from murdering, killing, raping. Enforce the punishment. Enforce the punishment.
Well, I watched on Sunday that fat pig like Kristen Welker on Meet the Press. She was interviewing Trump, and Trump ended up walking out. But Trump's like, look what's going on in LA, because he knows this is fucking rigged. He's like, it's rigged. And she's like, you don't have proof, with her fat little fingers. You don't have proof. You don't have proof. Here's your fucking proof. Will you see this on ABC News? Of course not. Will you see it on NBC News? CBS even? No. You may see it on Fox, maybe. But mainstream, they're not going to cover this. Here's your fucking fraud right here. You can't pay people to register to vote. Does some homeless fucking junkie living in a tent, do you think they're probably staying up late at night thinking like, who do I want to run this fine city that's been in existence for 100 years? What? No. They go through. This is how they cheat. You pay people to sign up to vote who otherwise would not vote. And then you fill out the ballots for them. I guarantee you there's people filling out, because these are either really dumb or just drugged out people who don't, they'd probably fuck it up. So they probably get people to actually fill out the ballots for them. And it's like Gangs in New York. You remember the scene in Gangs of New York when it's election day. Go get them votes any way you can.
That would be what he should say.
Yeah. The petitioners orchestrate an elaborate pyramid scheme of unregistered petition circulators.
If I were to hire you, you would be under me. Yes. I'm under my son. I'm under him, and you under me.
Fucking pyramid scheme.
Jesus.
Jeez, what the?
Holy
These fucking
cow.
grifters, man. Oh my God.
So
even they're lazy.
Yeah. Always on the fucking take, man. Oh.
I don't need you. You need me. I don't need you.
One of the petitioners threatens to attack one of our journalists.
Go down the street, bro, before we move you down the street. I'll knock you out looking right at me.
Bro, why are you trying to be like that, bro?
Say I won't knock your ass out.
I think we've established in our prior segment why they're like that. Sometimes that's just the way it be.
Ass nigga, don't come over here again. I'm gonna beat your ass.
And an employee of the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority records not the fraud, but the people exposing it.
That you on camera?
Got you on camera.
I'm with the LAPD.
You know it's a crime to say you're with the police when you're not.
No, I'm not with the LAPD.
Well, that's what you just said 2 minutes ago. Why did you lie?
As the NGOs pretended to be the police in order to intimidate us, I began to wonder whether we're still living.
So that guy's the cop.
I don't think there's any cops.
No, him.
Oh, is he?
I thought he said he's with the LAPD.
It was the black guy.
The black guy said he was with the LAPD, and this guy said he's the investigator, saying it's illegal to say you're with the LAPD. I
think that's just James O'Keefe.
I got it.
He's just the
I got it. Thank you.
Yep.
Broad cash exchange for voter registration happening in broad daylight, and we have informed the Department of Justice there are more tapes coming. There will be a new tape dropping every day until someone is arrested or indicted.
See you, Patty. Take care, Patty.
Take care, Patty.
White Dwarf Summer, absolutely.
George Washington said the administration of justice is supposed to be the firmest pillar of government, but if democracy is for sale and there is no accountability as a result of this video, it doesn't matter who is elected.
Yeah, that's why the SAVE Act is important.
Are those the hookers moving in to get the $2 from every single John?
Oh boy, they might be. They might be. Here, you boy just got paid.
I'll give you a half and half. How much? $2?
Yeah. How much you got? Okay.
I did a similar thing back when I was in high school. I used to work maintenance at the mall, and I'd push the broom around, and I'd go past Kaufman's and J.C. Penney's and Sears, and they had this big thing like twice a year. Each one of them would be out there they had this big table out there. Want to fill out to get a credit card, and I did that like 3 times a night, and I'd leave home with a whole back seat full of fucking 2-liter bottles of pop, because you fill it out, you get 2 liters bottles of pop. I had so much pop in the back seat of my car.
You were cheap. You got bought cheap.
Oh, but here's the worst thing about it. I ended up getting a Kaufman's card Who the hell said, okay, give this 17-year-old kid a Kaufman's card? Man, it was glorious for a little while.
I even had a Kaufman's card for a while. Damn.
Oh,
What you
man. I couldn't give that pop away.
All right. Were you busting out of
Yeah,
your,
I'm going to jet.
Yep. All right. No
This
problem.
is a good stopping point.
Good stopping
I'm gonna
point for you.
pass the mouse to Rogan.
Yeah. Gonna meow.
Got it.
All right, gang. Everyone have a good night. Double D and those going to CNYCon, have a safe trip. Double D, I'll still talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah.
But everyone have a safe trip going up there and have a great time.
Yep. All right. See you, buddy. Thank you. Oh yeah, we'll do one more. We'll do a questing beast, a little bit of a questing beast. R.I.P. They're already saying R.I.P. Crazy Mouse.
I ain't dying.
Yeah, two little mice from Chris.
Welcome back to Questing Beast. I'm Ben.
Thank you so much.
Since becoming a YouTuber, one of the most interesting things about the job is all the comments that people leave, because I am especially interested in
I got Cal to thank for this. He sent this
the
my
different
way.
ways that people interpret and play role-playing games.
I thought this is just kind of interesting. Good way to end the evening after a lot of let's just say some turbulent, highly charged social issues. So let's go back to you. See you, buddy.
And everyone seems to have a wildly different take. However, one of the biggest revelations that I've had recently about the D&D fan base is a blog post by Troy Press entitled D&D Rules According to Past Players. The post shows the results of a survey that they did of a group of people who claim to have played D&D in the past. And it asked them questions about what the game was like, what the rules were like, how it was played, and things like that. Now, keep in mind that these weren't hardcore fans. At least the survey wasn't targeting hardcore fans, like you probably, because you watch YouTube videos about D&D.
So it's basically a normie survey. And by the way, Mac, Kaufman's credit card. Kaufman's was a department store. No longer around. They were bought out by Macy's, but they were in our local mall for over 30 years.
It was high-end shopping for us.
Yeah, in their day, there was high-end shopping.
Back in the day, yeah.
In fact, my brother was a manager there for a long time. In fact, he even was there after. And they used to give out credit cards. Like, yeah, you go in there for it would be like a J.C. Penney's credit card or something like that. It was just
you
linked to
probably comment
Kaufman's.
on forums about it. This was just part of the general population that has played the game before. The results that they got were not what I expected. So today we're going to take a look at a facet of role-playing games that doesn't get talked about very much, which is, what do most players of D&D think the game is? What features of it make an impact on them, and which of them do not? And then at the end, we'll be taking a look behind the scenes as I have a quick chat with Mike Merles, the co-creator of 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons.
Motormouth.
What he saw at Wizards of the Coast when they did their own research on this topic. So let's start out by taking a look at the blog post, which I will link in the description down below. I also linked to this post in my most recent monthly newsletter, which you should subscribe to because it's awesome and it's totally free, and it gets you in the running for all of my giveaways, like this copy of the Painted Wastelands, which I recently reviewed.
The fuck is that? Painted Wastelands. That does not look like a painted wasteland.
No, it doesn't.
Well, looks a little fruity to me.
Yeah.
That was a bad cover. So soft.
Reminds me of Sherbert.
Yeah. It's like Technicolor yawn. Like Michelle Therrien in one of the most underrated sports rants, is like the year I think Sidney Crosby got drafted. They were just a bad team, the Penguins were, and their own coach called them out. He was French Canadian, so he would just say they so soft. Instead of soft, he would say soft. They so soft, this team. These covers, they so soft. Painted pink wasteland with sparkles. Yep.
So here's the blog post, D&D Rules According to Past Players. So the first thing to point out is how they acquired the people that they were doing this survey of. They said that they did an omnibus survey of 1,253 US adults, recruited from online panels, asking which of the 8 common games they had ever played: Monopoly, checkers, Uno, and so forth. And of course, Dungeons & Dragons was included on this. Of those people, 16% had played Dungeons & Dragons, which works out to 204 respondents. So it was those 204 people that are answering the following questions. Now, right away, this was something that seemed a little bit odd to me. 16% of the US population has played D&D. That seems way too high to me.
Tend to agree. Even with the whole Stranger Things bump, that sounds a little too high, but I'm sure the sample, the population of the survey, I don't know, might not have been scientifically selected.
I don't know about you, but if I just asked a random group of people on the street, I would not expect 16 out of 100 to have played a tabletop role-playing game before. Most people that you meet will be broadly familiar with the name Dungeons & Dragons, but the number of people that have actually played it seems a lot smaller than that based on my own experience. Now, the first question that was asked them was, if you were teaching someone else to play Dungeons & Dragons for the first time, what would you tell them? And I think most of the responses are reasonable. They're the sort of things that you would hear from a D&D player. The biggest theme, although only mentioned by about 1/6 of respondents, was characters, especially character creation, with less of a focus on mechanics and more on the possibilities. So they mentioned things about how it's important to make a character, how you're going to be using dice, and it's about generating a story from the choices that you're making. They talk about how important it is to start simple when you're just learning, but most people don't talk much about the rules. When we get down to character classes is where things start getting a little bit odd. We then asked all the past players an open-ended question about which types of characters they would tell a new D&D player could play. The number one answer was Wizard, then Cleric, and then Elf and Fighter. In a 4-way tie for ninth, though, was Dragon. Not Dragonborn, but Dragon. Is it actually true that 7% of players are playing full-on dragons in D&D?
That sounds a little...
yeah.
What character did you play? Well, I played a dragon. I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Remembering the character that they played. Now, after this, they showed all the respondents a list of random classes and races from D&D and just asked them, which of these do you remember from the game? And look at some of these responses. Less than half of people who claim to have played D&D in the past remembered that dwarves, clerics, druids, humans, paladins, fighters existed in the game. Only about 1/3 of people responded that halflings were even a race that you could play. Now, if that wasn't weird enough, the next section, which is on which of the core stats they remember, gets even weirder. This question asks the respondents, which, if any, of the core abilities, attributes, or stats that describe characters do you remember? And to my shock, only 7% of past players could name all 6 stats. We can see down here that most people remembered strength, and then charisma, intelligence, wisdom, dexterity, and then finally constitution. But there is a big chunk of responses that don't make any sense at all. People said that some of the 6 core abilities were things like fire, or stealth, or dwarf.
Funk, game.
More than one person typed in dwarf as a core ability score for Dungeons & Dragons. Now, almost as interesting as these strange things that people don't remember about D&D are, it's almost more interesting the things that they do remember. For example, players were very familiar with the concept of dice. They remembered the different kinds of dice, how much fun it was to roll, how sometimes the dice would not roll in your favor and you had to punish them, all the little weird rituals surrounding them. They kind of remember how combat works, at least vaguely. They have the general procedure down. They talk about how you're rolling a d20, you're trying to roll high, and if it's high enough, then you'll deal damage to your enemy. They remembered big exciting moments, like how critical hits were really good and critical misses were really bad. But a lot of it just wasn't very specific. Only 3 players mentioned hit points, only 1 person mentioned armor class, and only 1 player mentioned that weapons were different from each other. In a similar way, when it came to spells, players remembered cool spells and cool things that they could do, but most of them did not or were not able, perhaps, to describe the mechanics surrounding them.
Were they asking kindergartners?
I don't know. Yeah, Wayne Brock. Always bring a dwarf to toss. Yep.
Person mentioned specific classes, like clerics and magic users can cast spells, and only 1 person mentioned slots and cantrips. The results for what happens when you hit 0 hit points seemed to vary quite a bit, but that's not too surprising. That's very commonly house ruled, and even in different editions, that can be really different. But the saving throws thing was really interesting. 1/3 of people were asked about saving throws, but only 5 or 6 of the players knew the term. That one is really weird to me. Saving throws are right there on your character sheet, and you actually roll them pretty frequently in D&D. How was it that only a small handful of people had ever heard of them?
I agree there.
They were playing the Blue Rose.
These are Well, they thought they were playing D&D. Maybe they were. Yeah, maybe they were playing Blue Rose. But it just goes to show that we think this. Who actually plays D&D, and like everybody's paying attention to what we're saying here in this battle against Wizards of the Coast, going insane, and all these other companies, when some of these people are just like, sure, I'll try D&D. Yeah, it sounds like fun. And then half the time they're drinking beer, probably rolling dice, having fun, but I don't know how much of it is actually registering up here. I think it's obviously not a lot. Half the internet is AI bots. Yeah. Yep.
Now, it's true that only 1 out of 5 respondents had played D&D.
I'm getting to believe that, Chris, a little bit.
This year?
To believe that.
So a lot of them could have played D&D in past years or in previous editions. But a lot of these questions are so basic, it really makes me wonder what it was that they were playing. And just look at some of these stats. About 60% of people say that they had played D&D since 2020. So that's fairly recently. When they were playing D&D, they were playing once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week, so they weren't playing super infrequently, and a typical session was 2 to 4 hours long.
These were all homebrews.
I would, yeah.
Has to be.
I remember last year, we have a bathroom right in this room, and I remember like an hour or like 2 hours before we started the stream on a Wednesday, the toilet was overflowing. We had a blockage in the line, and so the plumber came down here and he saw this room, how it was decorated. He saw the Earl Otis wall mural, that most of you have at least seen, some pictures of. And he was like, "Oh, you play D&D? I play too." It's this young kid. He's a super cool, but even your plumbers are playing like D&D. That probably wouldn't have happened back in the day. But it kind of does happen. He was telling me about his character and everything. It was funny. So, and that really nice dude.
What are they doing this whole time? This whole thing sounded incredibly strange. Could it really be the case that a significant chunk of people who are part of the D&D fandom, who have played the game before, remember almost nothing about a lot of basic features about the game? To try and figure out what was going on here, I reached out to Mike Merles, co-creator of 4th edition and 5th edition D&D, to see what he saw when he was at Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah, so generally what we'd see, and it varied a little bit. So one thing to keep in mind is there's a difference between, say, putting a survey up on, say, our D&D Next on Reddit, where you're not even showing up unless you're a hardcore player.
A human hamster.
Versus something that is more like, hey, we're going after just the general population of, say, the US, because we just want to get a sense of how does the game land. Or what's its presence in people who are not going online to forums. So to be clear, if we were going after people who were they're only seeing the link because they're going to an RPG website to begin with, those people knew the rules, right? There's always be some amount of just mistakes people will make, they misclick or whatever, but it was within that. But when you looked at the broader population of people, typically what you'd see, and this all started because we would get these results from these very broad, almost if you're of my age, it's almost like, hey, someone's at a shopping mall asking you to fill out a survey. That's the kind of approach you're taking, right? These are just people off the street. And we would see these very high rates of people saying, hey, I play Dungeons and Dragons. And that just felt odd. This doesn't kind of add up.
Just doesn't add up. Patrick for 2. Everyone prepare for a 1-minute explanation to be a 200-page novel.
So we started adding these questions over screeners.
Patrick.
Okay, so you say you play D&D, prove it, right? What's the danger, or whatever, things like that. And what we found was, that article kind of talks about, people would you'd ask them hey, of fighter, wizard, and kickboxer, which of these are D&D classes? And plenty of people would select kickboxer.
Double D takes fastidious notes. Time for my new kickboxer class coming soon to Drive Through RPG.
A lot more than you'd expect. It'd almost be broken down.
Apparently there's a market for it,
in thirds, right? And so I think, so it's pretty wild to see there are people out there who will tell you when you ask them, do you play D&D? They'll say yes. and then you ask them questions that feel like, okay, you play D&D, you should know this, right?
True.
And they have no idea what you're talking about. They're answering seemingly at random. And that was something which we saw pretty consistently. And again, just kind of like bracket it. This is when you're talking to people who are just person on the street. You're not asking people who are going to Reddit or N-World or on the D&D official Discord. Like, you're just talking to people who are just pulling them in and saying, hey, can I ask you some questions? It could be about anything, but these questions have to be about D&D.
So do you know what the sample sizes of these kind of surveys were, or was it more informal and just like at malls and places like that?
Oh, no, these would be huge. So this is the kind of thing where, like, if you're a company the size of Hasbro, there are companies like all they do is like you would contract them and say, hey, like we want to learn about this product, and like we want to target this kind of person, and then you'd give them whatever questions you're looking for. So this is the kind of thing where, like, I mean, not just D&D, but like, and not just things that.
Hey, Merles has interacted with me on X. That's more than I can say for a lot of these people. He's not afraid to interact with certain people. He may not agree with us, but I'll give Merles his due.
That's cool. Like people who make like microwave ovens do this kind of like surveying, right? And the obviously you got to be the scope of like a Hasbro to actually like consider doing this, or to have it actually make any sense. Like, I love Shadowdark, but I think if you did like a Shadowdark poll this way, you just find no one's heard of it, because these are just randos who are pulling it. So
right, yeah.
But they'd be pretty comprehensive, and I think it was. I definitely know some of these surveys were like in person. Other ones might be the kind of thing where, like, you may have noticed if you're just like, surfing Facebook, like, or you might get some like spam email or something, or like I get texts sometimes that are like, hey, like, sound off on some local issue, so it's clear that there's just some mailing list I'm on. So
yeah, that makes sense. I mean, because the thing about that one blog post is I think they only got like 200 people responding to it, which is pretty small of a sample size. But just generally, do you have any thoughts on what these sorts of surveys and this sort of information implies about the culture and D&D? Like, what do people think that D&D is, that we're getting results like this?
So I think one of the things we have to keep in mind is just, if you're watching this video and this just didn't autoplay first, on YouTube or whatever, you are like in a tiny fraction of the audience in terms of engagement, especially with role-playing games. It's easy to forget that for like the staggering majority of people who have ever played D&D and most role-playing games, they're like what I think of as like the third, fourth, or fifth person at the table. Like, they probably didn't buy any of the rules. They're probably here because their friend invited them and it sounds fun. And it's really an excuse for them to sit down and play a game with their friends that has like this narrative storytelling element, and it's exciting, and there's moments of danger and uncertainty, and that's really appealing. And you can do that for years.
This guy loves the sound of his own voice. Yeah. Never stops talking. Yeah. I was going to make a point, and I think he actually hypnotized me. I can't remember it. I honestly
and
can't.
Enjoy it fully without.
Maybe he can talk me back into it.
A rule book.
Oh, I know. He does bring up a fair point. Like, you always have to keep in mind, like, not only are we in a niche, like this audience here is like a niche of a niche, and probably a fairly small one at that. So not that makes us any less relevant or to my mind, any less important. Because I do think we sort of, for lack of a better word, speak for just your normal gamers who may not quite understand the unadulterated faggotry going on with Wizards of the Coast and Paizo and others. So I think we are pushing back on that. I tell you what, this would be a good time too to tell you, like, as far as like that Karmelo Anthony, I went on Blue Sky. And I'm like, I'm going to check the usual list of suspects because I'm following all of them over on Blue Sky. And I got to tell you, nobody in the RPG industry that I could tell said one word about Karmelo Anthony. Not one. Now, I'm not saying they weren't thinking what these dumb people outside the courthouse were thinking. They probably agreed with them. But I think they're starting to realize that they should just keep their mouths shut. And in that regard, I'm going to take that much credit for a little tiny bit of credit.
I think that's
teensy
awesome.
weensy.
I think that's really, that is a good sign right there. They're not running their mouth.
Well, I think they realize not just me, but like people are watching now. So I think honestly, it was a real shock. Like Ginny D, like I did that Ginny D video and she fucking saw it. I know she did because she blocked me immediately and then started making these, without mentioning me, made these obtuse comments about it. I think they just honestly thought they could just say what they wanted, say this horrible shit, and just no repercussions. And I think some of that was just due to the fact that they didn't know that we existed. Oh, you mean there's actually a normal audience in the RPGs, maybe even right-leaning? I don't think they had any clue. And I think some of them were a little taken aback. I think some of them were a little burned. And I think and it's not just me now, of course, I think there's a lot of people watching. I did a video on Matt Colville for his dumb takes about the Supreme Court and how they should be harassed at home. Ginny D. I know others have done things too. I know Pundit does his share of stuff. People are watching them. So I think word has gone down from on high, or they're just realizing now, I don't want to deal with this. But some of them, at least, are keeping their stupid mouths shut about this kind of stuff. Not about everything. Plenty of them say dumb things. Like Dan Dillon was talking about the God of War game and how, any old critics just need to wither. Dan Dillon's a retard, so fuck that guy. But by and large, you look at these Wizards of the Coast, I hesitate to say the word talent now. It's all on their personal accounts. It's all just game related usually. So we'll chalk that up as a minor W, right? When they're not telling you to your face they hate your guts, isn't that a good start? Isn't that sort of what we want? Just do another couple minutes here and then we'll call it a night. I want to cut it a little bit early tonight. Just because we on the road tomorrow. We go into Cooperstown.
Because the DM,
Hall of Fame,
whoever handles all the rules for
and then on to CNY.
In a lot of ways, the purest experience of the game is just, I just tell you what I want to do and you tell me what happens. And sometimes I have to look at this character sheet and you tell me, roll this number, right? I've run plenty of games for beginners. You're just, if you're running the game, you almost always have to go over and point out the number or say,
I'll have to check that out.
Now look at your character sheet and tell you've succeeded or not. So I think it's one of those things where we really wildly underestimate, because in our sort of bubble, I guess, we are all used to reading all the rules because you look kind of goofy if you're trying to sound off on some game that you clearly don't know about. But that's at 20% of people maybe who play role-playing games. And obviously I think as you go further out, there's still middle ground. But the example I like to use is I play a lot of board games in my family. And there is such a funny difference between the avid board gamers who will learn the rules and want to win, say a game like Ticket to Ride, versus the other people in the family who are there to play Ticket to Ride because this is their time to hang out with the family. And they will always forget how the wild cards work. They will always forget how, what happens if someone draws a card and now the deck is empty. It's just not important to them, because in terms of things that are important of this experience, learning the rules is near the bottom. And the top one is I'm spending time and socializing. And I think so. It's very easy to forget that. And I think it's especially as a designer.
That one, Brogan.
Most people don't think learning rules is fun.
Dr. Y. I think that might be Dr. Urias. I shared one of your. I shared the reaction on D&D Beyond, if that is who I think it is, earlier on. So thank you very much, Dr. Y.
They think playing games is wonderful. They think learning them is why would I do that? Especially if this dungeon master here is going to explain everything to me as we go. So,
yeah, I also wonder if there might be, to a certain extent, the fact that D&D is by far the biggest brand name in role-playing games. It has huge name recognition everywhere. And I wonder if there's, to a certain extent, it's become just the genericized term.
We'll let it run out. It's only got 3.5 minutes, so we'll let it run out and then call it a night.
For fantasy adventuring, whether that includes different kinds of role-playing games, whether that bleeds into board games, into certain kinds of video games, and it's all just sort of like D&D to a big portion of the population.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder how
Right,
many
right,
played,
right,
like a game like Hero Quest and were like,
Yeah.
oh, that was D&D. Or, just
That's actually a fair point. I bet you some of these people thought they played D&D, and because they don't even really, it doesn't really register with them, they're not into it. They just do it a couple times and, oh, that was fun. Now I'm going to go do something else. They probably think they're playing D&D.
playing like a card game or played like, some board game with, some fantasy.
And but I know these people, and a lot of them are super nice, but they ain't into nerd culture. They're these are like people that go camping, and stuff like that. They're just super normies and just, otherwise very nice. And then you convince them like, oh, you want to play this game D&D? And they're like, oh, yeah, I heard of that. Isn't that in that Stranger Things? So yeah, you play with them a couple times or maybe you don't even play with them. You play something else, and they think it's D&D.
The element to it.
It's like, yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, that's what
meant
D&D.
to say game at the end.
Yes, yes, exactly. RPG grammar. It's kind of like Kleenex is the word for tissue. It's just to them, it just kind of, that's what you do. Oh, I rolled dice and pretended I was somebody else. Well, that's D&D. But weren't you in space? Well, yeah, isn't D&D in space too? I just thought it was everywhere.
Right.
So.
I think that definitely plays a role. I do want to say when I worked at Wizards, there was we tried to screen for that. We would ask people one of the questions may have been kind of asked them like, oh, when you play D&D, was it like sitting at a table telling a story? But I don't, I'm saying that, but I can't remember what came of that. So maybe we talked about it, but didn't do it. But yeah, I mean, D&D is one of those things where it's so everyone has heard of it. Most people haven't played it. And if you ask them to describe it to you, like, where do they begin? That's one of the things with role-playing games. They're so strange compared to everything else.
You drop this on me, Fred?
I see that. I saw it.
Get rid of dice rolls.
Click here, huh?
Good catch there, Rogan. I got to look into that. I mean, why not? I mean, it's basically just acknowledging the reality of the situation, isn't it?
We do they're the best games ever, but it is odd to try to get someone. I'm sure if you ask my dad, who obviously I've been in role-playing games for way too long, but hey, your son played and works on these games, what does he do when he plays them? He couldn't tell you. He'd have no idea.
I think the really big takeaway here is that the Dungeons and Dragons community, or fandom, or whatever you want to call it, is much wider and more diverse in terms of play style than people expect. All the people that are online in comment threads like the one below, or on Reddit, or on Twitter, or wherever, are very weird just because they're online talking about it.
All right, fair enough. I think you know where he's going there. Basically, we're hardcores, and we just always have to realize there's a lot of normies out there too. So
that guy interviews that other dude a lot. A questing beast, right?
Yeah. They must have some kind of relationship, right?
I bet they do.
I would guess. But yep. So I don't know. There you have it. Lots of normies play. Don't ever forget it. We're fighting over a very very small part of the hobby in general. So, but it's worth fighting over. It's a sleepy corner of the culture war, but it's still a corner. So
it's our corner.
It's our corner.
So how did the poll go?
Yeah, good question. What do we got, guys, in the poll? I can't see it from here. Hold on. Let me, maybe I can pull it up here. 247 votes. Bahamut winning. There
So
you go.
Good is winning.
Good is winning. Yes, indeed.
Double D, can I ask who you voted for?
Who wins in a fight? I think Tiamat wins, but I would kind of go with the audience here and say that I want Bahamut to win. Good. You gotta go. You gotta go for good, right?
I was thinking the same thing.
But 5 heads. 5 are better than 1.
but
that's 5 heads.
How's that go? I'd rather laugh with the sinners than cry
with the saints. Yeah.
Yeah. So I went with Tiamat.
Billy Joel fan there.
Yes.
You went with Tiamat. Yeah. Tiamat's always an interesting villain. I mean, there's probably a reason they chose her for the cartoon. One of the 2 villains of the cartoons. So, always was cool. I think over the years, it kind of jumped the shark a little bit. But, yeah, interesting. You guys liking these polls that we're doing? I kind of like these little, like, A or B. No in between. I think it kind of gets people, I don't know, gets people thinking, making decisions. Maybe generates a little bit of conversation too. That's all I'm trying to do, spice things up a little bit.
Put a little
spicing up your life, like the Spice Girls.
Put a little hot sauce on that taco.
Yeah, putting a little hot sauce on the taco. Chris, not familiar with Bahamut. I know the bare minimum, but I just know he was always like he's the good dragon, and Tiamat's the bad one. So.
But yeah, Tiamat is like there's a red head and a black head and a blue head, right? Mm-hmm. It encompasses all the villain dragons all in one.
Yeah, all the bad
glorious
dragons.
creature.
Yeah, that's why she's chromatic. Yep. Yeah, the real villain says Shellback was the dungeon master because he kidnapped these kids and is keeping them there for his own perverse pleasure, I guess.
That's a good angle.
It's fair enough. Remind me, Rogan, remind me next week to click on the, I'm going to go to the other screen on the poll. That way it'll show. Here we go. All right. I'll just have to do some goosing in this screen so we can see more of the YouTube chat, but yeah, it'd be nice to kind of see the results as they unfurl. In fact, if you guys will indulge me for a momentito, I am going to do some on-the-spot resizing here. There we go. Ah, there we go. That'll work. Okay. Maybe I'll even put the Rumble chat on top. Okay. Thank you for indulging me. I'm a bit of a OCD person. I just want to make sure that's perfect. All right. Any last benediction there, Rogan? Oh, it looks like Craig will get a word in before we do ours. You want to? I got it. Craig for 5. Bahamut always rolls with like 6 ancient gold dragons, though. Oh, that's you know what? I don't even think I realized that.
Never knew that.
I was going to say I can't even say I forgot that. I don't even know if I realized that. So maybe that was in the original entry or something. So good point, Craig. So really, it's instead of 5 on 1, it's like 7 on 5. So that definitely tips it to Bahamut. Plus, he's got goodness on his side. So I think we did good work here. I think Bahamut is the clear winner. Anything, Rogan?
Hey, thanks a lot for sharing this night with us.
Well said.
Thanks for listening to and sharing our outrage. Weekly. Honestly, on a lot of things.
Well, the problem is, it's like these things in the UK keep happening, and I know it doesn't affect us directly, but it sort of does because we have such a lineage with them. I just wish this stuff would stop. So, so we could just kind of get back to watching Scott Garibay videos and, maybe even a little Condor in here and there. But I don't know. Like I said, the game stuff, there's always a little bit of game news. Sometimes it's more than others. The Gen Con cover, that is not good. Yeah. It just shows you when people say like, we are the culture war is over. Hey, we won. Like, no, we didn't. I mean, you still got to keep pointing this stupid stuff out because this thing's going to have a long tail on it. So, just, whatever. We'll have fun. We'll have fun calling it stupid, lame and gay.
It is what it is. If
say.
It's stupid, we'll call it stupid.
Yeah, it's lame and gay and, whatever. Yeah. Shellback, I don't mind condorless episodes. Yeah, I mean, I'll probably just keep those separate anyway, but I've been giving that a rest too. I think it's been about a month almost since the last Vultureverse, so he's been up to no good though.
He's popped up on my YouTube. I've caught little blurbs here and there of some of his stuff, and it seemed like he's like going full RPG, going over, but
he has a movie channel now where he talks about movies for all the shit that he talks, all the shit that he talks about this channel and me personally. He's just aping my channel.
He's a thief.
He's not doing movie watches, but it's like now we're gonna branch out, talk about movies.
Pretty freaking close.
Remember 2 months ago, it was like, all we're gonna do here is talk about games. I'm just gonna generate AI shit, and I'm just gonna talk about them. So whatever. Yeah, like I said, we'll keep that out of the peanut butter. Kodo and Poto time, maybe soon. Surly, maybe soon. Maybe soon. I think we're back due. I think for a classic fantasy. So. We'll do that. Okay, guys. I hear Mrs. D, she came home early from board game, and that's because we got to do a little packing and get to a moving. So
Double D, safe travels tomorrow.
Thank you, buddy.
You and Mrs. D, safe travels.
Yep. And keep an eye out, guys. I'll be doing some pop-up streams, probably at least one, who knows, maybe a couple, from CNYCon, which is going to be great. A lot of fun. Thank you, divers, for going out there and enjoying it. I know Roger, often watches this channel, so I know he's very pleased with you guys going. So
hit the like button before you leave.
Hit the like button on the way out. So some of you guys in the chat, I'll actually see you on Friday. Jeff, Death Angel Shadows, Gelatinous Dude, and his wife. Shawnee and Greg Gillespie. I'm going to be seeing a lot of you guys this week. So consider CNY. If you're not going this year, consider going next year. Yeah, good luck. Don't die. We'll try, Dabbler. We'll try. All right, guys. Take care. Have a good one.
Good night, everybody.
Just going to go out straight tonight. So peace, and we'll talk.